What's going on, people? Welcome back
with a live stream Monday night, as we are always here. Realist Goon, obviously, Positive Dan's there, and some very special guests, man. Very, very special guests. Football royalty. We have got. Let's start off with the big man, Julian. How are you, Julian, mate?
I'm big compared with Marty. he's bigger than me in most ways, but I'll take that.
Come on, you got a big voice, man. You got a big voice.
I have got a big voice. There's not a lot of things big about me, but my voice is pretty big. I'm very happy, but then how can you not be on this fabulous Monday, which followed an even more fabulous Sunday? Anyone that's not happy today that wears red and white, and I'm talking about the red and white of Arsenal, how can you not be happy? That's a strange one if you're not.
Yep. And then obviously we've got Marty. What are you saying, Big Mart?
How we doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Thanks for coming on.
No, pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. And what a game it was yesterday. I'm sure we're going to go right into it. But like Julian said, phenomenal game. Nothing better than setting history at the Emirates. And what a game of football that was. It was I'm still quite taken back by it. I don't think I've digested the whole thing, if I'm honest with you. And it's just, mate, the amount of crashing out from Spurs fans that I've seen has been absolutely brilliant. They're absolutely ruined. But yeah, absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I have to say I'm very, very excited now. I've never done a show with you, Mr. Kenny Ken. And
no, you haven't, Julian.
Of all the days I could do a show, and I had to pick one, today will be that day.
Yeah, because we bloody won. That's why you acting like that's because you bloody won. That's why you want me on it, and you, Marty, as well. The thing is, I've met all of you in the flesh, except for Realist Aguna. So Realist Aguna.
No, we met briefly outside the Armory one day. I was with Dan as well. You probably don't remember, but yeah, I did meet you. What game was that, Dan?
I can't remember. I think it might have been West Ham, but he's definitely met you, 100%.
What year was this? Was this
last this season? Year. No, this
season.
This season. Yeah. You see, that's the thing, man. Yeah, I do remember you now. I do remember you because it was. We had a bit of a chat, and it was like, it was a short chat. Yeah, but I have met you. But Julian, the first time I met Julian to have a chat with, we were coming back from like Crystal Palace, and we were both getting the overground from Finsbury Park, and that's what I got to know. I thought, hang on here, he's not this bad. He's not bad, this Julian guy. I think he's all right. I mean, we've had conversations since then. Marty. Yeah, we had conversations with you, and I obviously I've met you a couple of times, Positive Dan. But
when was the first time you met me?
I think you're mad Arteta lovers, but I'm sure you're fans. So we'll just get on with it, eh?
You've been hanging around with Lee Gunner too long, Kenny.
No, so I do hang around Lee Gunner. Some of your takes, I'm thinking, hang on here, just let's wait till May.
Calm down a little bit. You're right, Ken, mate.
Ken, that's why I brought you in, because obviously I know me and Marty and Julian Julian sometimes, but right now we're all very positive. And Dan is, you know, I call him negative Dan, but it's in jest. He's really a schooner, and you know he was very negative towards the end of last season. Not so negative this year, but I thought I'd even things up and bring the man himself, Kenny Ken.
If you noticed, Dan, I think last season there were a lot of things that we weren't happy with. I think a lot of people put it down to injuries, suspensions, but I think it was a missed opportunity because at the end of the day, if you think about how we finished in 23-24 and the way that team was built for success, I thought the next cab of the rank in terms of like winning the league was us, not Liverpool. So I think we were all taken by surprise. There was a lot of anger, and I just felt, a manager's cycle, especially in Europe, I think it's about 4 or 5 years. This guy's been there for 6 years. 5 of those years have had success. So I felt, you know what, I think we should look elsewhere. And I still off that position because I do think that there was 2 other missed opportunities, 22-23 and 23-24. A lot of people have had the argument that, it was a process, we weren't ready. No. If the opposition arises, you're ready. And there's no doubt we dropped the ball in both those campaigns. So that's another reasons why I do have suspicions about this manager. But this season,
work out.
Yeah, but everything this season is built for success. Yeah. But I think even the most positive fans and the most, ardent of Mahrez and Mikel are going to be cautious because of the nature of English football. The nature of this is.
I think if you talk about the nature of English football, Kenny, it's of the highest quality. Our league is considered by UEFA the top seeded league in Europe, probably in the world. It has to be the hardest competition to win. Let's be realistic about Liverpool last season. Everything that could have gone their way went their way. Their main player, Salah, I thought, well, he's going to play himself out. He's 30 years old. He can't play at that intensity for the whole season, but he did. And sometimes you just got to give a little bit of credit to the opposition.
They deserve the credit, but the problem with at Arsenal, it was not so. Last season we didn't compete with them. It wasn't a title challenge. They won it at a canter. We just weren't good enough. We didn't have much creativity. We relied a bit too much on set pieces. The season afterwards, when we were praying for success, we were coming out of the back straight. We had to win every game. Aston Villa killed us, and that was it. It was game over. Man City stole the league from us. But don't let anyone kid you. Coming into that Man City game on Easter Sunday, 2024, we were the favourites. It was our league to lose, and we promptly gave it.
Are you talking about when we drew 0-0, Ken?
Yeah, because even so, after that game, there was not a problem. We were still 2 points ahead of them. We won all the games. We won the league. After we lost to Aston Villa, we promptly won all the games, but it was too late. In 23-24, 22-23, inexperienced or not, we were that far ahead. You've got to see it through. With guys, you're experienced or not, you had to see it through. And that's when the mentality of everyone associated with football club, players and manager, was called into question, rightly so. You can't miss out on opportunities to win the league because they rarely come along. That's
it seems to come along every season for us for the last 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, and every time we drop the ball.
I do get that. Listen, I do completely understand that notion, but I do think that's slightly harsh, but in ways blaming it on the mentality of the manager due to, listen, factually, the amount of injuries that we did have last season. Now, what's happened this season is we've gone all out in the transfer window. And when you get situations where you are going to have injuries, i.e. right now, where you've got Odegaard out, you've got Gabriel out, we've had Noni Madueke out, we've had Saka out for this season, we've got Gyökeres out, we've got Havertz out, we've got Jesus out, we've got a whole multitude of top performers out. Now, last season, if you haven't got those replacements, i.e. this season, if we didn't have Piero Hincapié to fill in for Gabriel Magalhaes, yesterday could have been a different story. I'm not saying Tottenham were diabolical, but and we will find out about this player clearly against Bayern Munich on Wednesday night and definitely against Chelsea on Sunday, because listen, that guy I believe is now going to nail down that spot Gabriel will have to get fit, which we don't know how far away that could be, a month, 2 months. I've heard it's over 2 months. But look, you can't say that injuries don't affect a football team, because they do. And look, unfortunately, that is what happened last season. And yeah, Liverpool, you're completely right. We didn't compete with Liverpool really, but we didn't have the squad to do it. And when you're talking about rebuilding and overhauling a squad of just quickly, Ken, when you're talking about rebuilding and overhauling a squad of this quality, it does require a lot of money. You can't just go and blow the money on the wrong players, like what Chelsea. Even saying that, listen, Chelsea are picking up some pace now, and they're starting to show the money they've spent on this young side could start coming to fruition. And listen, things sometimes in life, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. Listen, of course, I want to win things every year, and that was frustrating last season. But I generally think now that, do you know what? I really do believe. Listen, I could be completely wrong at the end of the season, and this will be my main point on it. But let's say we do go and win a trophy this season, because that's what I want. I want to get a trophy. I want to win something. I think. Imagine, and then we go on to form a dynasty, and this Arsenal team, and we go to dominate English football for years by winning a multitude of trophies. If we had got rid of Arteta beforehand, we would have potentially been robbing ourselves of that. And I know it's a lot of ifs and buts. He's got to go and do it. He's got to go and do the business. Huh?
It's too many, because, like I said, hindsight is 20/20. But at the time, football's a ruthless business, and it is very much a results game. There's loads of instances where you've got to make a decision if you're not getting success. And I think a club of our size, even if like I said, you are making some sort of progress, the currency is trophies, and that's the thing. Mick, when you think about the situations where we have had the opportunities to win these leagues, he hasn't seen it through. Now, whether we like it or not, we did bottle the league. We bottled it in 22-23. Because if you're going around Anfield and you've got an opportunity to be 8 points ahead of Man City, and Man City needs snookers, and it's Easter Monday, you have bottled the league, regardless of whether Rob Holding is in defence or not. You still got good enough.
Ken, what I'll say about that team, Ken, was the youngest team in the Premier League at the time.
But going in the straight, it was virtually 8 points ahead. Obviously, Man City had a game in hand. You've got to see it through.
And they had to play us twice because the game was cancelled.
But they beat us at Highbury.
It was in the hand.
They beat us at Highbury, but after that, we made a recovery, and we were still like 5 points, potentially going 8 points ahead, because obviously they had a game in hand.
I hear what you're saying, but it's a long time ago.
We were 2-0 up against West Ham. We drew 2-2. We were 3-1 down against already relegated Southampton. So that does call him the attitude of the players and the mentality and the question of everyone associated at the club, players and the manager. The season afterwards,
I think that's why, Kenny, I'm saying the same thing at the moment. Let's just wait until at least January, February to see where we're at. We've had a great start. It's looking very good. Feeling positive. If I'm being honest, it's the most optimistic I've felt about winning the league, especially after that Tottenham win, obviously. But yeah, I'm still saying give it time. But as you know, Positive Dan, he thinks it's done and dusted, man.
It absolutely should be done and dusted. From the position we're in, and when you look at the squad that we've got, and actually the opposition, because it's not just about how good Arsenal are, it's actually about how bad the opposition is. And I'm not seeing anyone at the moment that's challenging us. I mean, Sunday I was discussing with Martin just before we came on, is that I think Arsenal were brilliant, but I don't know, because Spurs were just that bad. It's very difficult to tell. I think my Sunday league team could have beaten Spurs the way they played. They're absolutely awful. They just had zero ideas. I don't think I've ever seen an Arsenal game where, especially not a North London derby, where there was just the opposition had nothing, absolutely nothing. And if that's going to be the level of the opposition that we're going to be playing, and Tottenham are supposed to be a better than average Premiership team, and we just flipped them to one side. It was like effortless. Yeah, and I think this time next week, if we end up, and I'm not saying we will, but if we end up doing something similar to Chelsea, then I do actually agree with Mr. Positive Dan. I think it is done and dusted at that point.
Look, you know it is, Julian, right? the fact is, right, is that you compare this team to other teams who've won the league previously, and when they get to this stage of the season, everything's in place. The team's playing well. They're dealing with all sorts of adversity, and you say, look, this club is built for success. Anything else would be like a shock and a catastrophe. So you are allowed to do it. However, the Sunderland game was a reminder that there are teams that are going to press us. There are going to be teams that are going to sort of turn us, in terms defensively, and they are going to be a go, and they're going to be taking points. So you can't write this league off already. You've got to take one game at a time, and when you win one game at a time, enjoy the Tottenham result, and then get our games in on for Chelsea, because there's going to be some hard games. The Tottenham team we played yesterday, you're going to be, what you missed out yesterday, apart from them being absolutely terrible, is that they had no tactical playing. They've got a manager.
Ken, let me ask you. So, do you think we'll win the league this year, or do you think we're gonna bottle it, or do you think we're gonna win it?
Well, you must have. You know what? It's not a black and white. I know you want me to give a sort of like yes or no answer. We should win the league because the simple reason is that everything is in place for success. We should win.
So if we were to win the Premier League and the Champions League, something Arsenal's never done in their history, if we were to win the Premier League, Champions League double, would that make the decision to keep Arteta when guys like yourself would have wanted him out? Would that make it the right decision?
It's easy to say that in hindsight, but the fact is that we had to wait a long time for that success. It wasn't a case.
Surely that is worse than something waiting.
You're saying that there's been like this process. There hasn't been a process. If you're challenged for the title in 22-23, which is 3 seasons ago, and 23-24, you're not under a process. You're basically competing, and one side could say we're unlucky. The other side could say
how many teams you know that just come out of nowhere and win a title though without being in title races?
Leicester City.
Exactly. Yeah, but
it's the only one, isn't it? Really,
Leicester's the only one. I mean, Chelsea finished 10th one year.
We're a better side than that Leicester City side, and we weren't able to do it when we were 5 points ahead. When we were ahead of the game in 22-23, and we had it in our hand. I don't think you guys remember. I think what's happened is that there's a lot of this inferiority complex about Man City. Even though Man City, I've got Pep Guardiola and they got this great manager. That Man City side, and I've said it on podcasts with both of you. You, Dan, you've been on it as well. And I've said it to you to your face, Julian. That Man City side that won the title in 23 and 24 is not as good as those sides in 18-19. Those sides in 18-19 were super sides, just that were unlucky not to win the Champions League, where they've got 100 points and 98 points. Those Man City sides that we lost the title to in 23 and 24 were beatable. Only for some reason, unknown.
They won the treble. That team won in 23-24. They won the treble. They were the best team in the world. They won the treble.
No, 22-23, yeah. But the fact is, there was still the Man United team that won the treble in 99. You trying to tell me that was a great Man United team?
It was a very lucky Man United team.
They won the league with 79 points. We had 78.
Yeah, we were a point ahead. If we didn't drop the ball against Leeds,
and Bergkamp scored that penalty, and that would have been the end of that.
We won the league. And what about in the FA Cup? If Bergkamp missed that penalty, it's all moments. And that Man City side that won the treble, it was moments that got them through over the line, and mentality got over the line. But they weren't the best. They didn't win that league in 23 at a canter. We dropped the ball. We bottled it.
Was that the one where we didn't beat Villa? And
we bottled it a year afterwards. That's another bottle.
So the one that I remember is when we had the most phenomenal end to the season, and we lost against Villa. But we actually, for me, played one of the best halves of football that first half than any other time that season. But it just didn't go in the net. I remember Trossard missed from a yard out, and the Cronkies do whatever Arteta does. It's very difficult to legislate from missing an open goal, and that in effect cost us the league. There were so many things that season that could have gone our way. It was
Son against City.
Yes, Son against City.
Hang on it. Why are you talking about Son against City? We weren't playing that game. That's Tottenham versus Man City. That's nothing to do with us.
Just showing that there are there's fine margins. Lads, listen, I want to move on because I've got some questions. I'll go to you first, really, Schooner. Dan, Martin Odegaard. We've been before this Eze performance. Yourself, you've been one of Martin Odegaard's biggest critics, but you have said that you'd put him back in the team, and you really wanted Eze to come to Arsenal. How are you feeling on that now? Does Odegaard still get back in the team, or does Eze keep his place?
Listen. Like I said before this performance from Eze, me and you have both been questioning him in terms of his performances, not just his performances, his work rate wasn't good enough for me. Very underwhelming. And I said, when Odegaard got injured, I was happy because Odegaard, like you said, I've been his biggest critic. He's been poor. So as soon as he got injured, I said, right, this is Eze's chance to nail down his position in the centre of that park, because I don't want to see him on the wing. I never wanted to see him on the wing. I think his best position is number 10. So after that performance yesterday, 3 goals, North London derby. The first hat-trick since 1978 in the North London derby. Odegaard can't slip back into the team now after that. He can't. He can't slip back into the team. If you're going to take Eze off 60 minutes, but he's got to be starting now after that. He builds from this. That is going to give him so much confidence. He's going to be buzzing right now. And I'm pretty sure we go in that game against Chelsea and we've got Eze in that same position, it's going to be a problem for them. A big, big problem. So for me, no, Odegaard can't just slip straight back in. Champions League games coming up, maybe he can slip in there. Ease him back in because he's coming back from an injury anyway. He's not fit. So at the moment...
But if he's fully fit, we've got a big game. Who are you playing?
At the moment, I'm playing Eze.
Yeah. Marty, what do you think about the Odegaard situation? Does he come straight back into the team? Does Eze get shifted out to the left?
After those performances from Trossard, the problem you've got, I think, with that situation is after Eze's performance yesterday, he has completely earned his right to definitely start the next game. Even if, dare I say it, he wasn't to have the best game in the next game. I think from a performance like that to go and stick a hat-trick in against your North London rivals in the way he did it. He could have had 4 or 5. Definitely should have had 4, but potentially 5. Some of his passages of play, some of his movement, his positioning, the way his defensive work, how the rotation of the team on the pitch and how they moved around the pitch and how Eze was not afraid to get back is something that I haven't seen from him in recent games in his defensive qualities. Now, also, when you look at Leandro Trossard from yesterday, now this guy for me is improving game after game, which sounds mad because obviously we've had him at the club for a few years. But this season for me, he's come up in clutch moments. He's delivered when we needed him to deliver. And certainly yesterday, it wasn't just the goal that he scored, but I watched him and I thought, what a performance from this guy. So you can't put Eze on the left-hand side and put on, because that would be the natural position to put him. Obviously, Saka's got the right-hand side nailed down. So where would you, if Odegaard comes back in, where do you put Eze? Because you can't drop Eze at the moment. Because if I'm honest with you, I thought that Eze would take maybe a month or 2 more to really bed in. But that Eze, I haven't seen him play like that for Crystal Palace. And he was something else at Crystal Palace. I know it's only one performance. And let's not get too carried away. He needs to do it consistently for a period of time. But, I think yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw as well, when I was at the game, you probably saw it best because you sit quite near me, Kenny. Mm-hmm. There was a time in the game where he was just literally taking pure liberties with Tottenham. The way he was just knocking the ball around, and Dan, you sit near me as well. It was right over my side. He was just jinking the ball around, and literally, it was like cage football. It was just like freestyle football, little flicks, tricks, just liberties, and that sort of comfortability and confidence on the ball is something I haven't seen off of him. And again, the defensive work rate. So, listen, Odegaard's the captain, and Arteta's going to want to find a way from in the team. I've got nothing against Odegaard. I think he's a top player. Can he perform on his day? Yeah, he's come back from injury. We don't need to rush him back. Before his injury, I don't think his form was fantastic. Listen, he needs to earn his place back in the team. And that's how I see it.
I actually think with Odegaard, you said the form wasn't fantastic, but he didn't play a lot. But when he did play, I seem to remember him coming on against Newcastle, and he was
good against Newcastle.
He was phenomenal. But I think football, Premier League football, and especially at Arsenal, these kind of conversations have been made redundant because it's not a case of one player replacing another. What we've got is this squad of interchangeable players. We've got players that can fill in and they're not filling players. They're all like first teamers. So yes, you can have, you talk about Saka's got that position now down. Of course he has. But if he's not playing, how much of a drop off at the moment would it be to have Nolly there? On the left hand side, you've got Trossard. If he's not playing, and it's not a case of he's playing badly, you've got Martinelli.
Forget Martinelli.
And
He's my favourite.
Forget this fetish that people have for this Martinelli. The fact is that you talk about Martinelli. Wasn't it telling that when Trossard was taken off, he played Madueke on the left, not Martinelli. Now you can show it any way you want, but when you pay £52 million for a player, and you've rightly said that, that Saka's place is nailed down on the right hand side. Anyone who's cost £52 million, you've got to find him a place down the left hand side. But the fact is Trossard's, since he's got his place back, he's been nailed on. He's been playing really well.
He hasn't had anyone to compete with him, has he? Because
do we think he's been our best attacker, guys? Can we all agree on that? On Trossard,
at the moment, form is temporary.
His stats would indicate that they are.
He's still a dibbly-dobbly, though. But
what do you mean by that, Kim?
Well, dibbly-dobbly. I don't know if anyone likes cricket. A dibbly-dobbly is basically a medium-pace bowler who basically bowls maybe 70 miles per hour. It gets the occasional 50, gets the occasional 100, and I say occasional, and he gets the occasional 5-4, but he's effective. But on his day, but normally he's just a little jobber. And that's how I describe Trossard. Bit of a dibbly-dobbly. On his day, can score a spectacular goal, can do a bit of this, but he's like a jobber.
But do you not feel like because he's getting those starts now, that consistency, now we're seeing the player? Because before, like you said, dibbly-dobbly, but that's what he's been given. He's been played.
I think he's been fantastic this season. I think Trossard's won his games.
You know what? He's got a firework up his backside. He's got 2 fireworks up his backside. Martinelli, who's been really good at the bench, scores the odd goal. That's a firework up his backside. And then Nonny now, who's fit now, that's another firework up his backside. If you've got someone, like I said, 2 players after your place, if that doesn't motivate you to play like that, nothing will. There's no shootings. He
hasn't had those 2 players breathing down his neck for the last few weeks, and he's been pretty special.
Well,
against Sunderland.
But that could be a combination of things. Maybe he's fully fit, or he's enjoying his football. The fact is, with when everyone's fully fit, what we've always wanted is players to fight for their place. The only reason why certain players are shooing is down to manager's preference, tactically. I always say when I'm with Mikel Arteta, the reason why everyone says, Declan won't get a rest and Saka won't get a rest is because tactically, when he looks at through his tactical crystal ball, that spine has to play because he feels that spine is gonna win in football matches and get.
I think most managers think that throughout the years with the best teams.
So like yesterday, a lot of people saying, why did they? We were saying, well, why didn't you sort of put the substitutions in and rest some players? I didn't want the players rested. I want revenge for that 5-1 in the League Cup semi-final in 2008. Every time we beat Spurs. When they're on their knees,
I think we've had a lot of revenge, Kenny, over it.
No, not revenge. Not revenge.
I'm quite sorry for him now.
No.
A vengeful person.
They've won 1 game at the Emirates in the Premier League.
Hear me out for 1 minute.
Go on.
I don't think you guys remember the humiliation of coming out of that ground.
Yeah, I do.
When we lost 5-1. So when we play Spurs, I either want that scoreline replicated or want a 6th or a 7th.
Yeah.
I want proper revenge.
I seem to remember beating them 5-1 as well.
No, 5-2, Julian. We've had 2 5-2s.
5-2 2 years in a row.
No, I'm not talking about the 5-2. I'm talking about a League Cup game over there. Over at their place.
No, it's 4-1. We beat them 4-1. It was when in extra time we beat them 4-1.
Flamini got a couple of goals.
Yeah.
Waldy.
No, that was in 2015. But
2008, was it?
No, 2010, 2011. We beat them 4-1.
Okay.
You know, goals from like Nasri, Henri Lansbury, and there was a goal from
Lansbury.
Suchek what's his name? The Meerkat scored one of the goals. The Meerkat.
Sharvin.
Sharvin, yeah, he got one of the goals, and I think
The
two
Meerkat.
goals from Nasri, one from Henri Lansbury, and the Meerkat got one of the goals. We beat them 4-1 in the extra time.
But
At
I
2010,
wouldn't want you to get more vengeful, but I also remember back around the same time that we went there and lost about 4-5-1, and Bentner and Adebayor nearly came to blows. Whatever game that was.
Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about. That's the game I'm talking about.
All right, that's vengeful.
Leonardo Trossard, 21 goals and assists in the calendar year. Only Bruno has one more than that, I think, on 22. So it just shows he's actually had a fantastic year.
Yes.
Trossard.
Yeah.
And look,
And he turns up in big games, man.
for me, there's if we win the league, for me there could be a similarity with him and Freddie Ljungberg, because Freddie Ljungberg used to pop up. He wasn't. He was a great player, you know, but he wasn't, you know, a Pires or Henri. But he popped up with really crucial goals and became a real cult hero. And I could see Trossard, if he carries on playing the way he's playing, I could see Trossard perhaps being our player of the season. That's how good he's been for me.
You know the thing with Trossard, you know, when you compare him to like, you know, Martinelli. Martinelli's very much a street footballer. He's very off the cuff footballer in terms of like, there's certain things he does you can't coach, but when it comes to like upstairs, Trossard, but he's always had that. You know, like dibbly dobblies in cricket, dibbly dobblies in football. They tactically they're fine, but what they do is just they like the plain Jane of football.
Is Martinelli a dibbly dobbly as well?
Martinelli's basically like a street footballer who's got no tactical. Who plays off the cuff, but he's got no tactical discipline. And
well,
that what he has
seems to track back quite well.
Yeah, he can, but that's been drilled into him. But when you think about
doesn't that mean he's not a street footballer then?
No, he is. No, but the way he plays, it's like a street footballer. In terms of off the cuff, you know the little skills he does and everything. You know when you play in a cage, you play street football, didn't you?
Of course, I've played at all levels. You know that.
I want to see videos of that, mate. I want to see videos of that. I'm not convinced. You can't.
It was before they had video. It's all in black and white.
Lads, we're going to go to the next question now. I'll come to you, Marty, on this. Who do you think Arsenal's biggest challenges are for the Premier League title this year? Who do you
Man City?
Do you look at? You straight
City.
up
Man City. That's
City,
it.
yeah?
Man City. Listen. Chelsea, I said at the beginning of the season, right, and people laughed at me, and I said, because after the Club World Cup, obviously we knew Chelsea were going to have a bit of a slow start because the fatigue of, you know, they played in European tournament and they got, you know, they won it and then they went into the Club World Cup. So it was natural they were going to have a bit of fatigue and their league form wasn't going to be great. They're a centre back and a goalkeeper away from being, I think, a top team, if I'm honest with you. And that's no disrespect. I know they're a few points behind us. So, but I generally think if they got those positions sorted by two players, they really would be really right up there. But yeah, Man City and Chelsea. When I said that at the beginning of the season, people laughed at me, but now they're kind of starting to see it's a young side. They're starting to gel. They've had some players missing, but listen, Liverpool are well out of it. I do understand that, you know, there's times teams have been points behind, but for me, the way they're playing, listen, no disrespect to Liverpool, but I can just see what's going on there. You know, they've changed players which they haven't replaced. There's no intensity. They remind me a little bit, if I'm honest with you, in the way they play, slightly like Tottenham were yesterday. There was no intensity. When you look at a team that we played like Sunderland, you look at the intensity they played with, the want for wanting the ball and the want and the desire for winning the game. That goes a long way in any level of football. And I don't see that. I don't see there's something not right at Liverpool. But listen, Man City can do it. We know what they're capable of. They can go on a 10-game winning run. Erling Haaland's a dangerous players. They've got Phil Fodens. You know, they've got top operators. You know, they've just bought probably arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. But they lost at Newcastle at the weekend. Were they unlucky? Were there some bad decisions that didn't go their way? This is also something like we were just talking about earlier about things sometimes key decisions not going your way. When I watched that game, against City, Newcastle against City, I did just think, some seasons you just think that everything's going other people's ways. And I did watch that game, like that header at the back post from Bruno. Like they drew the lines for from the most random place, and it was just like, is it things just going our way now this season? Is this going to be our season through not just like I'm saying of refereeing decisions or what have you, but that I was surprised in ways that they lost to Newcastle, but it's a tough place to go, St James's Park. They dropped points, Liverpool dropped points, and we're in a very good position. But as Kenny said, it is ours to throw it away. We keep winning our games, we'll win it. That's it. So we need to keep doing that.
Do any of you guys, Julian, Ken, Dan, or Marty even? I know you touched on Chelsea, but are Chelsea in the title race? The 6 points behind us, we play them next.
Yeah, they are, and it's conceivable that they could beat us next week. It could happen. I mean, they're at home. They're on form. As Marty said, luck can play can have a big factor in it. I think about the Newcastle game, and I watched the Newcastle City game, and you have to say it could have gone either way, that game. And in the same way that game could have gone either way, so could the Newcastle Arsenal game as well. Because did we get a little bit lucky? We played brilliantly, but we got 2 late goals, and if those 2 results had been reversed, that's 6 points. And City are right behind us. It's that close. It's still fine margins. We're 7 points clear of them, but it would be quite conceivable that we'd only be 1. So and same could happen with Chelsea. It's more than, I wouldn't say likely, but you wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't be a massive shock if Chelsea turned us over. And then it's going on, isn't it?
I think for me with Chelsea as well, as mad and inconsistent that everyone keeps talking and saying that they are, they're 6 points behind on, and they're coming into a game against us next week. If they win that game, they only go 3 points behind us. So how bad have they been? They haven't been that bad. Do you understand? And they haven't had Cole Palmer in the team as well, their talisman. So I'm not saying that Chelsea are going to win. I don't think they will, but you can't write Chelsea off. You can't write them off.
You know what it is, guys? When Dan said, who is Arsenal's biggest rivals to the league? Arsenal's biggest rivals to the league are two main rivals themselves, and the amount of games we're going to play. First and foremost, I repeat, everything's in place for success, and it's not about he's waiting to sharpen the knife if we lose and go after that. No, everything's there. The defence wins you the league, and their defence is clearly the best in the league. We've got players playing with a lot of confidence. We're not tearing it up in goals, but the goals are going around the whole team, which is
scored the most goals in the league, though. Joint with Manchester
but in terms of you haven't got someone who's scored 30.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, okay.
But basically, what you want is everyone contributing. So that's a sort of a tool that helps you in the league. But the fact is that what will stop us from winning the league is drop points. Is going to games where we're not. Where we think it's already done, getting the reminders where we got teams like Sunderland who would just raise their game against us. But another thing as well, the amount of games we play, it's just ridiculous. And not only is it the amount of games we play, it's the amount of the amount of time we have between games, which is basically nothing. Like, don't get me wrong, the reason why there's a lot of injuries now in football, not just Arsenal, is that these games are ridiculous. There's no rest. You're having to play with all this intensity. No wonder players are getting injuries, or secondary injuries. That's going to be one of the factors that could get in our way because of the amount of games. But mostly, it's got to be us. We've got to be on it. We've got to shout at the noise. Don't listen to us or some of us who think the league's already won and that we're going to win it by 20 points. And don't listen to any of the pundits. Just treat every game with a bit of respect. But just accept there's going to be times where we may drop points, but it don't get into our heads. But yeah, that's the only thing that will stop winning the league is us. Because the other day, stranger things have happened, and we've all seen it in football. They do happen in our league.
Just want to, yeah, I hear that, and I just want to touch on Chelsea. I don't see Chelsea as a threat personally. I see Chelsea as maybe where Arsenal were maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Very young team, not much experience, inexperienced manager. I think they'll comfortably make top 4 or top 5, even if they were to be us, which I don't see it happening. I think we're way too strong for them. I don't rate their defense, their keeper. I think we'll beat them. But even if we didn't beat them, I would still be looking at Manchester City way more than I would Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea, they could be there up until game week 30, and I think they would fall off. That's just my personal opinion. The only team I'm looking at now is Manchester City, simply because of Pep Guardiola. And
it's a reputation then, Dan. You're looking at the Man City, not on the footballing ability or the squad ability. You're just doing it by reputation. And my counter to that is that I never believed that they were going to beat Newcastle, because the Man City of old, when they won these leagues, even when we gave it to them on a platter, they went to places like Newcastle, Brighton, and Aston Villa and won. This Man City side,
yeah. But if you look at, I remember I was out in Thailand with Liam. We watched the Newcastle game. It was in the middle of the night, I think, and we watched.
What are you doing in Thailand with Lee? What are you doing in Thailand with Lee? What are you doing there?
It was international break.
What are you doing, you dirty old man?
We were out seeing a lot of Buddhist temples. What else do you do in Thailand?
You don't go to bloody Thailand to go to Buddhist temples, mate.
Well, that's what we did. I don't know what other people do in Thailand, but we saw a lot of Buddhist temples.
I think Lee's got family out in Thailand, hasn't he? Lee's got family.
So it was a very cheap trip. Yeah, onto the Newcastle Man City game. That particular game, I remember Newcastle absolutely all over City, and they just scored this last-minute winner. So it's fine margin. So you talk about it's done on reputation, but Marty touched on a very good point, and it's that goalkeeper. I do sincerely believe he is the best goalkeeper in the world. He just looks like a wall. He looks unbeatable at times. And when you've got a keeper with that, it's a reputation, but it's a reputation built on physical attributes. And when you've got that in goal, you've always got a chance. And I thought they were a bit unlucky against Newcastle the other day. And I've seen them previously and got lucky at Newcastle.
They've got a good run of fixtures now as well, City. But for me, City, anytime they played anyone decent away, they've lost. Brighton, Aston Villa, and Newcastle. They're losing the tough away games, but they've got. If you look at their fixtures now, they've got a nice run. But talking,
they had a lot of chances in that. No, I was going to say they had a lot of chances in that Newcastle game as well. Didn't have the shooting box on.
Newcastle had chances as well, and any game that Haaland's not scored in, they've lost.
I think personally, if I'm honest with you, I think Newcastle were very lucky to win it. I think Manchester City were very hard done by. I think that goal. I think the goal should have Bruno Guimaraes' goal should have been disallowed. I think there should have potentially been a penalty and Foden.
But Marty, in that first half, Harvey Barnes could have had a hat-trick though. He had a lot of chances before his goals.
Yeah, no, I think Harvey Barnes could have. I mean, he scored 2, didn't he? And he could have had another one definitely. But I do listen, and I hate to say it. I'm going to be honest with you. I do hate to say it. I watched that game, and I thought that Man City was slightly hard done by refereeing decisions and VAR. That's my honest opinion. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm just saying it as I see it. I'm telling you the truth of how I watched that game. I actually thought at the end of it, I thought, mate, they've done us a favour there.
What about Leeds' first goal against Villa yesterday? That was a similar incident.
Yeah,
that was offside as well.
That was a liberty. That was a liberty that got disallowed. I think that's that second one. But hey ho, it's how it goes sometimes. And you need the rub of the green.
Julian, I'm going to come to you on this one. Do you think this team could go down as the greatest Arsenal team of the let's say the Premier League era? Do you think?
Well, I think you can go back further than that. I've been watching Arsenal since 1976, and I'm not talking about the first 11 here because I don't think we do have a first 11. I look at this squad and the players within the squad, the quality that we've got throughout the squad, and that's where we've touched on it already. The amount of games could be the undoing of us. But with the depth of squad that we've got, I think that's how we compensate, because it's not about dropping players, it's about rotating them. And this squad that I'm seeing today is the best squad that I have ever seen in my life. And I've been going since, I don't see, it's better than the Invincibles for a squad. Maybe not the individual 11.
Yeah, but the Invincibles
but the actual depth.
Do you know what? Sorry to interrupt you, Julie. Sorry. The thing that I think that's quite mad, right, is I remember watching Invincibles. I remember watching, I know football's a lot more intense, but I'd say the 1991 team, obviously football was different then,
That's better than the Invincibles.
But the Invincibles, listen, I
rate what team?
The Invincibles is not our best ever side. The best ever side we've ever had is that 2002 double winning side under Arsene Wenger.
But that was the same team as the Invincibles, the 02 team.
No, not
there was one or two changes.
Right, Tony Adams was in the Invincibles.
Yeah. So Tony Adams, but that's about it. He only played about 10 or 15 games that year.
Yeah, Tony Adams. But what I'm saying is that those two sides in '91 under George Graham and obviously Arsene Wenger's 2002
only lost one game under George Graham.
In terms of the football that Arsenal played under Arsene Wenger in 2002. That is levels about the Invincibles, and I thought 91's levels about the Invincibles. Of course, the Invincibles are always going to be the gold ribbon side because they went unbeaten, they got the gold trophy. But from the football I saw, then there's only two teams that I thought, those are championship sides that play football the way I like it. Before 2002, Arsene Wenger side, I thought George Graham's 91 side was the best, but
it probably was. Having Limpar, he was just on fire. There was some great teams, but when you look,
remember Kevin Carroll came in the second half of the season, just couldn't stop scoring. Alan Smith, top goal scorer, and then obviously you had that defence with
Paul Merson, Alan Smith, Paul Davis.
He doesn't get the credit. He doesn't get the credit he deserves at Arsenal.
He should do. But I think what it is
scored against Palmer in the final as well, didn't he?
As you guys all know, I'm Wenger out, but I'm not a pork chop to say that his side in 2002 is the best side I've ever seen. I'm a football man before I was Wenger out.
Well, but you only became Wenger out at a certain peried in Wenger's reign. You weren't Wenger out when you started, were you?
Yeah, but I think what it was with Arsene Wenger is that when Arsene Wenger first came to the club, we were all Wenger fans because it was a case of like whenever he was on TV giving an interview, you always told people he has to be quiet because Arsene Wenger was speaking. And I think we all went through that. But when he stopped being great and he started being stubborn, that's when I thought, I wanted him replaced.
Yeah, but it happened to people at different stages. And I bet you were Wenger out.
I
was Wenger out at the end.
When?
I had enough. Probably, I would say I wanted him gone after the Hull FA Cup victory. I thought, right, he's won something, time to go at this point. And then it wasn't that I desperately wanted him out.
So as
the time went on after that, I was desperate. I got more desperate. And
were you vocal about it?
Yeah, I was vocal, but I wasn't on any of the channels at that point. I just
because the way I hear you talking about Mikel, I find it. This is the first time I'm thinking like it's like a light bulb moment because I wanted Wenger out in 2009 after we lost the semi-finals to Chelsea and Man United. I thought that's it. We're never going to win a big name as long as he's managed because tactically he was poor in my opinion. But I didn't realise that you were.
It took me a while. It was a slow burn for me because I had so much respect of what he'd done, and I also understood that the financial. I got bought the line of the fact it was a new stadium and that it was under a big. It was a big challenge to keep us in the top four, and I kind of believed, top four was a trophy. I got it, and I believed it. But as time went on, I believed it less and less. And what got me wasn't the performances as such as in the results. It was the way we were playing. I was bored with it. All this type of football. I yearned for the George Graham days again. A bit more excitement rather than all this control. But as regards Mikel, when he's come in, what I've seen is an upward trajectory. Whereas what happened with Wenger, he started brilliantly, unbelievably for those first sort of 6-7 years. It was incredible, and then it was a gradual decline. Whereas what I've seen with Arteta, other than last season, which I think there were other contributory factors, I've seen an upward trajectory. I've seen us get better and better each season, apart from last season, and that's what's kept my faith with him. is that I do see the plan, and I see it coming together.
But with Wenger didn't have the same money Mikel's had, man. I can't really
go with
that, to be fair, man. Because I think Arteta in his reign, obviously it's different time. There's more football money, but he spent 3 times the amount Wenger spent in the whole of Wenger's tenure. So there's definitely some context to that. To be fair,
but football's changed.
Wenger just spent it on the stadium instead.
Yeah, he spent it on the stadium, but the other part
on the stadium instead of the team, and that was it. Yeah, he spent the money. He spent the money, and if you corroborate it to today's obviously exchange rate, as it were, he spent the money on the stadium for our future, and that's it. That's what he was building.
The thing about it is that stadium was getting paid for because we were the Champions League every season then.
No, it wasn't. It was built on bank loans. Wenger had to sign contracts. It was signed on loans that he had.
In 2007, though, Marty.
What's that?
In 2008, he had a chance of winning the league.
He didn't. He didn't have the resources. Just built a new stadium.
What I meant by that is that you talk about resources. I'm talking about football, footballing wise.
Yeah, but football is a business.
We went in a straight leading. We didn't win it because at the end of the day, the second half of the season, we got an injury to Eduardo, and then we just kept on dropping points over to place teams like Middlesbrough and Aston Villa.
I know, but that, listen, it does play a factor when you move into a new stadium. Look at teams that have done it. There's teams like, I mean, look at Southampton, look at Leicester, and look at it's right. Look at what's it, Tottenham. Look at what they're doing now. Do you know what I mean?
They haven't done much different from what they did the 20 years before.
Oh, no.
That's a pretty bad example.
They never do. No, but they were close to relegation last year. Do you know what I mean? So that's a serious thing. For me personally, I pride myself that Arsenal have never been relegated once being into the top flight, and I think that's a very good statistic to have. That's consistency.
We're the third biggest club in the country, Mike. You should even think about relegation. You'll be proud of that.
I'm not thinking about relegation. Obviously, I'm not thinking about relegation, but you know what I'm saying. But
the fact is, my beef with Arsenal, not such a club, and the reason why I set Mikel at high standards, I generally believe, in terms of the things you say, I think you're too patient. In terms of not just you, but I think people who've been patient about the success. I think you've been too patient, and that modern football there isn't that much patience. That it's about the bottom line, winning trophies.
Yeah, and on that point, that brings us straight into the next question, Kenny, because I feel like obviously people have been very patient with Arteta. And where do you think it's gone wrong with Liverpool? And do you think it's right that these fans are now calling for Slot's head?
Yes.
Well, we think about it. So you talk about the mentality. Liverpool, even though they weren't winning, they didn't win the title for 30 years. Their mentality of Liverpool Football Club, because of the great teams that Julian saw in the 70s and 80s, they demand success. So I actually had a conversation with Jan Mulby after the PSG game, and I said that there's a gulfing difference between the mentalities when it comes to demanding success at Arsenal, Liverpool. And I said that by that time Liverpool won the league. And I said to Jan Mulby, if anything happens in the last season, the next season where Liverpool fall off their perch, Liverpool fans be calling for Slot to go, because Liverpool have to win the trophies every season, mainly the Champions League and the league. So that doesn't surprise me in terms of what he's done.
They don't do it very often, though, do they?
Yeah, but even so, they won the league twice in 5 years. They won it more recently than we have. They won it twice in 5 years. Yeah,
and they went from, was it 92 to 2019 without winning it?
But even so, we're talking about this era, Julian. The fact is, that's the Liverpool Football Club. But the other question that Dan asked me as well, hindsight's 20/20. But at the end of the day, you've lost Trent Alexander-Arnold. As far as I'm concerned, regardless of what you say about him from a defence point of view, that guy, when on the ball, was fantastic. He was creative. He had good set pieces. Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's a big.
Oh yeah, listen, I knew he'd be a massive.
But they've spent a fortune on.
But let me finish, Julian. Let me land first before you say that I'm big in the Liverpool up. I'm basically telling Trent Alexander was a big miss. Sadly, not having the Jota situation probably is taking effect. losing Firmino, you know, even though they won the league last season, they haven't really replaced that. You know, regardless of what you say about Nunes, it gives them work rate. But the most important thing is hindsight 2020.
Diaz.
If you basically bring a new team, how many players have made their?
But Ken, let's have it right. They were heavy favourites for the title. Every single person.
They won it last year. They
win the league.
But what I'm saying is that if you lose a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was a creative attacking. And one of the reasons why you were able to dominate games.
Him and Salah were telepathic, weren't they?
Yeah, another one they've lost is Diaz. Diaz presses from the front.
Diaz was the one who started that press for them. Big loss. And no one spoke about it just because they were getting in Isaac. The
problem is that
he's out for our game, isn't he, on Wednesday?
Who's that? I'm
glad he's suspended. Yeah.
I think the problem though potentially with Liverpool is, you know, listen, you can't. Maybe I can't say this till the end of the season, but I'm going to say it, is that potentially they haven't bought well. Like the players they've got rid of loads of players, but they haven't bought. The players they've bought haven't been the right players. Like you look at Kirkes, you look at Isak, you look at Wirtz, you look at what's his name from
Frimpong.
Yeah, but you listen. They're not doing what they're paid to do essentially. Now Arsenal have bought in 8 players over the summer, and it looks. But they've all just slotted straight in.
Well, even Gyökeres.
Yeah, Gyökeres has been good. Gyökeres does a lot of work on this.
About his ability, isn't it?
Gyökeres has scored 5. Gyökeres has scored 1 in the Premier League. He scored 1 in 3 goals.
All right. But before the goals against Atletico Madrid, I've been on podcasts where people were questioning his utility.
The question is what?
His utility to the team.
Who, Gyökeres?
Yeah, people won't.
Listen, at Arsenal Football Club, every player is going to get questioned. Personally, listen, I think he's doing a good job. Can he do a better job?
All right. Let's talk more recently. Before the Hatrick against Tottenham, there were still people that the school of thought was that Eze wasn't really making that number 10 his own, and that Odegaard will get his place just like that.
And how wrong were they? And how wrong were they? Eze just popped up with a world-class performance.
Marty, you and I know that football is a game-to-game basis. The opinions are game-to-game basis. Everyone forgets about yesterday, and they don't think about tomorrow.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes they don't.
You're the only. Come on, mate. You know what I mean.
I get it. It's a performance. Listen, you need to perform. It's like at the moment, Arsenal we're top of the table. But listen, that can change. You could say we have a load of injuries, or our form could change, and literally we could fall off a cliff. And Chelsea could go on a run and go and win the Premier League. I understand all that. I've watched it. I've watched Premier League. Well, I've watched football for 40 years. I get it, like you, Kenny. Like I do understand all that. I think, listen, if I'm honest with you, going back just quickly to that question, that Wenger out thing, I was never Wenger out, but I'll tell you what, I was definitely Emery out. I was definitely Bruce Rioch out. And I'll be honest with you, if I was a Liverpool fan...
But can you explain why that is?
Because what's that? Emery turned that... For me, my personal honest opinion, my opinion, and this is my opinion, this is what I believe, and this is what I've seen with my own eyes, because I've got to see. I was at that stadium when Emery turned it into an absolute toxic. Like he couldn't get the best out of it.
He inherited a mess from Wenger. Why are you so tolerant of Wenger, but not Emery? When the guy who got
Wenger built this club, and Emery tried to rip it down.
I don't think he tried to rip it down.
No, he didn't.
He was a bit unlucky, Emery.
Listen. I know he didn't actively try. He wasn't the man.
Wenger's the one who burnt the place down, not Emery.
No, he wasn't, mate. No, he wasn't.
Why are you getting Wenger a reply?
Wenger was the one who built the place. That stadium is there because of Arsene Wenger.
You can still build an house and still burn it down. That's what Wenger did. He didn't burn it down.
Come on, man.
We were a joke. We were a joke.
What?
When he left us, we were an embarrassment.
Listen. That wasn't all on Wenger. Let's be honest.
Well, why not? Exactly. Take the praise.
I think it probably was towards the end, because if you
he did win 4 trophies, didn't he? In his last 5 or 6 years, he did win 4 FA Cups.
There you go.
FA Cups. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The FA Cup is a prestigious trophy.
But hang on, Arsene Wenger destroyed the club.
Just quickly. Those those FA Cups in those last years. Not being funny, we'd kill for those FA Cups now. And Wenger was winning them.
I don't think we would.
You're rewriting history there.
No,
by
listen,
saying that he built the
I
club.
would want an
Yeah,
FA
but
Cup.
you're rewriting
Right.
history.
Here's a question. Here's a question.
Just
You
quickly,
said
and on my
football
honest
teams
opinion,
built
listen, I was at the Emirates on freezing
Oh,
cold
was
nights
I?
when we was in the Europa League, and there was 25,000 people in there, and they
I
was
was there as
booing
well.
and they was booing at the team. And do you know what?
Frank,
Numerous times I wanted to leave at half time because we were that crap. We were an absolute
What about Wenger's
disgrace.
last season? People stayed away in Wenger's last season, Marty.
Yeah, because all this protesting and all that. I think
No,
that's
it's not
disrespectful
protest. It's
to a
because we're
legend.
crap.
I do.
We're crap because of him.
No, we weren't. We weren't. It wasn't
We're
just because of him,
crap under
man.
Wenger.
I think that's disrespectful. He's one of the
Oh,
greatest
it's
managers to ever
disrespectful.
grace
Oh, who's bigger,
football.
Arsenal Football Club or Arsene Wenger? Is it Arsenal? Arsene
It's
Wenger or
Arsenal
Arsenal?
Football Club, but listen, you can't
Why
disrespect what a man's
are
done
you
for the
saying
club.
disrespect with Wenger then?
Yeah,
Listen, you can't disrespect what a man's done for the club. He's a legend in football.
But you can still
But he
call him
knows.
out.
Listen, factually, he knows a lot more than we do. He's a lot more qualified for the job. Listen, did he stand? Did he stand it? I think. Listen, I think if I'm honest with you, he might have stayed in the job maybe a year or two. But I think he's earned that, and he'd earned that right.
No,
Why?
he
Because
didn't
he
earn
took
it. No,
us.
he did
He
not earn
took
it.
us into a title-winning side, and he won numerous titles with us. Yeah, and he turned us into a European, a huge club, club in world football. And that's the foundation for what we've got now. The foundation. Just quickly, just see on Wednesday night when we go face Bayern Munich at the Emirates, right? When we face Bayern Munich at the Emirates on Wednesday night, that is the foundation of what Arsene Wenger built. So that we now have this, we can now compete with these teams.
Seriously,
honestly, you must know this, Kenny. Come on, you can't be that one-sided, that one-track-minded to not respect what that guy's done.
I was there as well.
Arsene Wenger left. Well, you'll see. You can't just magic up a massive stadium like that.
You're praising him.
You don't just knock down Highbury in a second and then just
get a statue.
And then get all of this finance.
That man should be put in the rubbish bin.
Unless you're Man City, it doesn't. Does it?
Why should he not get a statue?
Yeah,
because he destroyed the club, Dan. He destroyed the club.
Come on.
He did destroy. I think we need to put some perspective. And I think I'm somewhere in the middle here. It almost reminds me of my ex-wife, Arsene Wenger, because for the first half of the relationship, it was beautiful. For the second half of the relationship, it gradually unwound, and in the end, it became intolerable. But if I take a step back and I look at the marriage in its entirety, she weren't all bad, but at the end, she was an absolute nightmare. But one thing I can say in defence of Arsene, Kenny, against my ex-wife, is that Arsene did give us the Invincibles. I don't know what my ex-wife.
Yeah, but I'm not too funny, and we lived off that. We've lived off that for 21 years. That's why we had
still live off it for the next 21 years.
We still going about it, and that's probably why we didn't. Hey, mate, don't take the piss, mate. I know my football. I mean, what's your football before you're born?
Wait, what did I say at the beginning of the show?
We had nothing to do with it. Dang, we doing a 3-2-3. We had nothing to do with it. Arsene Wenger destroyed his football club, and our people.
No, he didn't. He built it up, mate. Come on.
He brought us down.
What was George Graham is irrelevant then?
George Graham started.
Martin,
you know, the 70s and the 80s.
I've got something that's going to make you really.
We were in the quagmire in the 70s and 80s. George Graham, an ex-player, ex-captain of Arsenal, come and managed our team, took us to the League Cup, won that. Then he took us to Anfield. We smoked them fools, and then the rest is history. Literally, then we started going on, started winning things.
Marty, I've got something that's going to really make you combust.
Go on,
scientifically combust. Our best ever manager is George Graham. Have it.
Yeah, our best manager was George Graham. I agree. He was my hero.
Listen, George Graham was phenomenal. He made my childhood. Literally, he was absolutely phenomenal. I rate him so much. Seriously, George Graham and Arsene Wenger are the two pivotal key, and don't forget David Dean as well. Don't forget the importance. Don't forget the importance.
He should have. He should have. And the other one that should have a statue is Perry Groves, because he changed the history of Arsenal.
Oh, right, the League Cup final.
Yeah, when he came on, that was the catalyst. So we should have a statue of Perry, and we should have a statue of George.
George Graham's their greatest ever modern
But
manager.
Ken, you said Wenger don't deserve a statue. Does he not deserve a statue for all of the good things he did?
Look, if you saw the state of my club, I'm not gonna forgive the man. Because the other day, just because you brought me up doesn't mean that in the end you turn out to be a bad father. I'm still going to resent you.
For fuck's sake, Kenny.
Sorry, but that's my
mate, I'd like to have you as son, Kenny.
I'm sorry, but I think that's wrong about it. Left this club. We were on our knees when that man left. And let's get it right. He wouldn't leave.
We weren't on our knees.
He had to be sacked.
Mate, we just won a load of FA Cups, mate.
Yeah.
Come on. That last season, 2017-2018,
he won an FA Cup the season before he left in 2017.
10-2 against 10-2 Bayern Munich, home and away. 10-2 on aggregate.
Yeah, listen, Kenny, I do get that. That was embarrassing. I get that. Listen, I understand that. Two legs at 5-1 apiece. I get that. It was embarrassing.
6-0 away at Chelsea. I was there.
And you could,
8-2 against Man United. Don't be out here. 8-2 Man United. Come on. 8-2 Man United.
That weren't great. He was playing a bunch of youngsters that didn't have a clue. Listen, but that was, don't forget, Kenny, that was at a time when Chesney, as a goalkeeper, let's take him as an example. As a goalkeeper, he's a very, very young goalkeeper, very inexperienced. He had to play him. But then if you look at the Chesney of nowadays at Barcelona, completely different keeper. The Chesney that was Juventus. When he left Arsenal, he went on to have a decent career. And he's a good goalkeeper.
I thought he was
wasn't Wenger taking for this? What
I'm saying, Kenny, is Arsene Wenger had to do it with cheap players. He had to sell his best players, and he had to get in a bunch of unknowns for literally no money, a shoestring. And he had to work with that, and he had to coach them, and he did to the best of his ability. You know what?
There was no coaching from Wenger. Wenger used to send him out to play.
There was, mate. There was. Believe me. If you went to the training grounds, you'd see what he did. You'd see what he did.
Ken, what are you saying, mate? Ken, what are you saying? Wenger didn't coach. He was the main one that was on.
If you went and watched him coach them, you'd see what he done.
Speak to Mick Arteta. Speak to them. Arsene Wenger, managed
the way. What they said is he didn't
concentrate
on the other team, but he did all the coaching. He was very hands-on, Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, man.
Arsene Wenger. Arsenal at 14. We've got 14 FA Cups, right? Is it 14 FA Cups? We've got the most, yeah.
And
he won 7 of them. 3 Premier League
9 years without a trophy. 9 years without a trophy under his reign.
9 years without a trophy.
9 years without a trophy.
It is a bit concerning, that thing that came out that he weren't studying the other teams, though. That is a bit concerning, I'll be honest with you.
Hey,
everyone has their way of managing. Well, 9 years without a trophy. So what I'll ask you now, Ken.
I built this club 9 years without a trophy.
So if Arteta goes on now and wins Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, and everything, how would you feel about it? Or are you going to go, you know what, he didn't win anything for 6 years? Or are you never going to, so can you never come round to Arteta? If that's how you are with Wenger? Or is it because if Arteta does it the other way around?
Right, if you watch my podcast, you would know that it's not personal. I'll be the first.
No, I'm not saying it's personal. I'm saying.
Let me land. All right, if you watch my podcast, the first thing I'll be telling you, and if I saw you face to face, I will tell you that Arteta is a fantastic coach, brilliant coach. The way he sets up the teams, it's been fantastic. But when it comes to managing the side and getting them over the line, that's been my problem.
Understood.
Simple. It's not personal.
So if he does that, then are you behind Mikel Arteta?
Well, you can't. Well, it hasn't happened yet, has it?
Kenny, just a quick one. No, can I ask a question, Kenny? I'm gonna right. So the question is, Kenny. So let's say he goes on and wins the Premier League this season. Next season wins the Champions. Let's say over the next 5 years he wins us. I don't know. Let's say. Let's be fair.
Can you just win one trophy first, please?
No. Just don't. I want to play a hypothetical. I want to play a hypothetical, right? I want to play. If he goes and wins, say 4 trophies over the next 5 years, will you come out and literally say, "Do you know what? I got it completely wrong about this guy. I thought he couldn't get us over the line, and he was an legend."
I'm an Arsenal fan. I want to be wrong. I'm glad I'm wrong. I've been wrong about criticising.
Fair play, man. Fair play.
I'm glad that I was wrong about Declan Rice. I thought Declan Rice had a lot to do to convince me that he's a top class midfielder, and he has. I want to be wrong because Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal fan, and Arsenal the club I love. I want success.
What's the I said the critical disposition then? What's the critical disposition in all these situations? Because I get it. I'm intrigued because for me personally, it's like, you go to that North London derby yesterday. I'll go into that. Listen, I've gone into games before and been like, oh my God, like I know the drill. I know I'm like, we ain't going to go down too well here. Like, years gone by, I've been like, we're probably going to get a fun. But I remember that Europa League final against Chelsea. I was like, we're probably going to get beaten 4-1, and yeah, we did. Like I kind of got that. But these games now, I go into these games, if I'm honest with you, and I'm like that Tottenham game. I knew we was going to bash it. And that's
you just knew, and there was nothing more certain.
The excitement is like, I want to get carried away because that's why I go to football. Listen, I spend a lot of money going to football. It costs a lot of money. And I want to have that enjoyment.
Were you patient with Mikel during those lockdown? During lockdown?
Yeah, I had no choice, mate. Because I was bored out of my mind.
Well, what about when we in 21-22? Were you patient with him then?
Who, Mikel?
Yeah.
But for me personally, right, Kenny, and this is maybe where I see things differently. For me personally, I do see what is happening in this football club. Like, I know you go every week, and I know you do, and I know you're immersed in this football club. So I see what's happening. I do see the progress. I do see that, I see everything that's changed at the Emirates, my experience of football. And I do generally believe that this team, and then people say, experience. I do generally, listen, after the end of the season, if we don't win anything, of course, there's going to be big questions raised about can he get it over the line? I understand all of that. I do get that. And 6 years, yeah, it's a long process. The understanding on this amount of time with the process, yeah, it's a long time. But listen, it's not like I'm going anywhere and I'm going to be supporting Arsenal for the rest of my life. I'm enjoying the journey.
I hear. Oh, look, regardless of what I feel about the way the club's been run, they're not getting rid of me that easily. I'm still going to go because I love football. I love Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly.
I want Arsenal to do well. And of course, I'm going to thank the manager who gets that success, but let him get it first.
And at the moment, they are doing well. They're top of the league, and everything's
Julian,
great. And on that note, I'm going to have to make a move.
Hey, Julian, I want to get side strains. I want
Julian,
to
thanks a lot, Julian. Really appreciate your time, mate. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And I'll see you Wednesday night, my friend.
I'll see you all Wednesday. All right.
Take care, Julian.
Julian's going to say we're going to win 10-0.
11.
2-1. Look, let's move on to the Bayern Munich game now. Obviously, I'll bring in Ryan and Charlie. So, Ryan, how are you feeling?
Ryan, where's your hat, bro? I didn't even realize that was you, man.
Oh, is that Kalako?
That's Kalako. Yeah. Oh, Marty, look.
It's Kalako, mate.
Kalako's in the building. What?
Come on.
Like, where's that, man?
We've got Mr. Eastender in the building.
All day, man. Obviously filming. Listen, I've been filming in Hornsey High Road as well. Listen, the amount of Tottenham fans I've had to deal with today.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah, but surely you're just winding them all up.
Is there a place where you're not? You're everywhere, mate. Everywhere I go, you're there. Absolutely everywhere. I'll turn on EastEnders, he's there. I'll turn on Anthony, he's there. He's everywhere.
Crazy.
I get about, man. But listen. I'm sorry, I have to just quickly jump in, man, about what you were saying. Yeah. Look, just because even if Arteta hypothetically won the Premier League, it doesn't mean he hasn't made mistakes, Marty. Yeah,
no, listen.
He hasn't. No. But let me
name me one manager that hasn't made mistakes. Name me one manager. Name me one manager, right? Name one manager. No, I want him to name one manager that's never made mistakes.
Let me land on the thing. We lost the league by 5 points because he refused the squad depth. Yeah, we didn't have centre backs. We had Saliba injured. We relied on him so much. Now go back to 23-24. Everyone wants to talk about the Aston Villa game. But that's because the guy, he let his arrogance get ahead of everything. He did not get a striker. If we got a striker, we would have won the league by 15 points probably rather than losing by 2 points. We were that great attacking.
15 points.
I'm sorry, but you have to acknowledge the errors he's made.
We finished on 89.
Sorry,
Ryan, I've got to cut you there. I've got to cut you. Ryan, you said we'd have won it by 15 points. We finished on 89 points. So we'd have been on 117 points.
What I'm going to say now is you have to acknowledge that, he's needed a push in the right direction because his arrogance, even when it comes to substitutions and tactics, it's still there, Marty. I'm not saying he's not learning.
Not this season, it ain't, Ryan.
Are you sure?
Come on, man.
Are you sure?
It's been unbelievable.
Are you sure,
mate, this season we've been different, mate. Listen, this season we've been on fire, mate. We didn't concede a goal in the entire month of October. Like, come on, man.
He's booking people at half time.
I'm not taking. I'm not going to take away the look. I'm not.
We just smoked Tottenham 4-1. Like, come on, you got to enjoy it. You got to excite it.
No, that is his guy. Look, he signed Gabriel and centre back. That is an amazing signing. Yeah. Not taking things away. He created a great defense, But at the same time, you got to look at what we have lacked in. When the fact is we're not
That was
professionals
Edu signing,
out there,
right? That was
and we're
Edu.
seeing that this club clearly needed a striker. Yeah, for so long we needed a striker. We pushed our look. We want to talk about discipline issues with Aubameyang and things like that. Look, put that aside for
We
the
didn't
minute.
need a striker
It
yesterday.
doesn't matter. We still pushed our best striker out the club. We didn't sign anyone. Yeah. Doesn't make subs quickly enough. Look, I'm not taking anything away. I lost my voice in North London. Derby Day is different, especially when you're from North London. It's completely different. Of course, you're going to get excited, but it doesn't mean that there's not worrying signs. I'm sorry, like
What? There's
Sunderland.
no
I'm
worrying
still upset
signs.
about Sunderland.
Can I just say something you said there? You touched on there, and I'm going to say it. Do you know the Aubameyang situation? I can make Mikel Arteta completely right on that. Listen, if you're earning 350 grand a week, mate, I want you turning up on time. I want you there 5 minutes before.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. You're right. You're right. I just wanted to say, not to cut you out. I'm not saying you're wrong, but he didn't replace him. And look, and Eddie Nketiah was not the guy.
We have now,
but we did it. We still sold him without replacing him. Like, do you not see the problem?
No, we have now. We've got 3 strikers. Well, essentially.
Okay,
do you know what?
Marty, now.
Just
What about the
just
previous
quickly as
time?
well, Ryan. What no one's really talking about as well is listen, and I know it's coming for a lot of criticism, but how good Mikel Merino actually is.
I know, Marty, I'm not taking that away.
When you look at the sort of players that Mikel Arteta has,
he was signed as a defensive midfielder. I'm not taking that away, though.
Sorry?
But look, it's great, but we should not be doing that as a professional club. It's a professional football club, Marty.
We're top of the league, you know that. We're 6 points clear at the top of the league, you know that.
Look, I'm not taking any of that away. Yeah, and I'm not saying Mikel Arteta is not a very capable manager. He's definitely learnt a lot. You know, he had to take us out of that, you know, the lockdown slums, everything. I'm not taking any of that away.
I think we're in a pretty good position right now, mate.
What's that?
I think we're in a pretty good position right about now. I'd kind of take our position over anyone's in the league right now. I would, and that's just the truth.
You're looking at it in black and white. I'm not saying I'm very happy we're top of the league. I'm very happy. I'm just making a point that, you know, you always laugh at me about sustainability. I'm literally trying to make a point about it, yeah? It isn't sustainable sometimes, the kind of football we play. It's not.
Ryan, you were saying that about set pieces last week, and then yesterday we've gone and banged in 4 open play goals.
Yeah, exactly.
And not being funny.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you. Listen, what
That
I
is the
saw
worst Tottenham
yesterday,
side I've seen in a while. They had more injuries than us.
This role that Eze's been put into, not being funny, how he's opening up in front of goal. Listen, Tottenham.
I told you that I wanted Eze in 10, not left. I said I wanted Eze in 10.
What do you think?
I said that.
Every game 5-0.
Everyone's talking about wanting him on the left wing. I wanted him in number 10. I wanted Eze in a number 10 role. I never said I didn't, so I'm with you on that. I'm just trying to make a point, and it's a really, really strong point, Marty.
What's the point?
The fact is, he has held us back.
What's that?
He has held us back.
Oh, shut up, mate. We're top of the league, you lunatic. What's wrong with you? We're top of the league. Mate, we're 6 points clear at the top of the league. We're smoking teams left, right, and centre.
Remember when we were 8 points clear with the. Remember when we were 8 points clear, Marty? Do you remember when we were 8 points clear?
It's a good time to go and watch football. Now we're going to go and face Bayern Munich, and I guarantee you we probably won't lose 5-1. I guarantee it's probably going to be a tight game. Listen, we could end up winning it. Like, realistically, I think we can win this game. Like, I don't see why and then we've got to go to Stamford Bridge on Sunday. If we turn them over, what you still going to say the same thing? We're only a third of the way through the season.
No, I know, but Mark, you lot are like sometimes, you know, just go by game by game basis. I'm looking at long term.
You've got to take each
long
game
term. No, Marty, not long term is really important.
Yeah, but if you look at long term, you trust the process, wouldn't you? If you're looking at long term, you trust the process. You're very much game by game because you're an instant gratification guy.
No.
Yeah, you are.
No. How am I game by game?
Marty, but you could say it's a game by game thing.
Yeah, but it has to be long term game by game. We won this game. We beat Man City 5-1 last season. What did that come to? So I'm not taking that away. But your point, the thing, Kenny Ken's point about Wenger was completely right. And I'm sorry, Wenger had to go long before he went.
That's down to personal opinion.
When we drew against Sunderland,
he had to go long before he went. Look,
there was a lot of changing up. There was a lot of changing up when we drew against Sunderland. We beat Tottenham, and it's
paying off the Emirates Stadium. Spurs are clearly going through that right now, so it's not an easy thing. But at the same time, the tactics, again, making subs, quite similar to what, you know, Arteta's done. Arteta, you have to admit, look, Arteta's made some good records as well. Not taking things away. Goal score. No.
All he needs to do is go and win something.
Pochettino got Spurs to the Champions League final. That was amazing. But didn't win it. I'm not taking things away from people. You just need to understand.
Totally different
Roy
kettle of
Hodgson,
fish.
he got Fulham against Juventus in 2010. He got a Liverpool job. People forget these things because they didn't win it.
What the hell is Roy
You can't
Hodgson
take away
beating Liverpool,
Dominic Matteo.
beating Juventus? What has that got to do with Marcelo? Hey, Ryan, you cracked me up, bro.
He won the Champions League in 2012. Would you
remember
take
last
him as a
time
manager
he started
now?
talking about our players from about? Do you remember?
Would
what
you?
Was it last
Oh,
time?
not necessarily now. Would you have taken him
about
straight
Loic
after that?
Remy.
Again, you necessarily
Loic
wouldn't.
Remy,
You wouldn't
yeah.
necessarily do that. I'm just trying to make a point.
Ryan,
That
let me bring
every
in
manager has
Charlie
limitations,
now.
but Arteta he's been the king of his own downfall. I'm sorry.
Charles, let me bring in Charlie now.
Like, I'm happy about yesterday. It doesn't take anything away though. There has to be long-term change, Marty.
But this is what I'm saying is you're saying, oh no, trust the process, it's too long. But what they're doing now is they're building a dynasty for years. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. You know I will. I ain't got a problem with that. But what I do see now is they're putting the building blocks in place. So this club's long-term sustainability, as you'd like to say it, is legit. Like this football club on and off the pitch is in a very, very good situation. I'll tell you one of the key factors that you'll notice this by, right? In years gone by, existing players wouldn't want and rush to re-sign contracts. Now our existing talent that is top talent is literally biting our arm off to re-sign contracts.
That's good.
I'm agreeing. That is a key factor, and that is definitely a very, very good positive sign.
But Marty,
it's very, very positive. I'm not taking away the good, and I'm not saying Mikel Arteta is not a good manager. But you have to accept that things have happened, Marty.
Ryan, let me bring Charlie in because he's just come on.
Long and he makes the same mistakes, Marty.
Ryan, give me a minute, bro. Ryan,
I'm so happy about it. Look, my voice is still gone.
Ryan,
listen, 1 second, bro. I want to go to Charlie because Charlie has always been. He's been Arteta in and he's kind of been on the fence. How are you feeling about obviously our star, obviously the North London derby? I know you was there. How are you feeling about everything right now?
I'm buzzing.
Look, listen, Marty. You know what I mean? Listen. Look,
I don't think you can't say nothing wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like
let the man talk, Ryan.
We're top of the league, top of the champion, joint top Champions League. You can't really say nothing. Like everything's going to plan. Like, has hold on, boys. Let me can you see me?
Yeah. What's he doing here? Charles, mate,
mate, what's going on?
Technical issues.
Technical issues there.
Pay your bill, Charles, mate. Pay your bill.
Upgrade to the I'm gonna say like,
go on, Ken. Go on. Do you want to say something?
Hey, right, we'll talk at the game. And 2 days, we'll see you. Marty, I'll deal with you later.
I'll be here, Kenny. I'll be here. Don't worry. Let's do this.
No, we'll deal with you later.
Ken, thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate your time, mate. Thank you very much.
Oh, Kenny, are you going, Ken?
He's going to throw his darts at Wenger and Arteta. He's got
I haven't throw the darts at him. I haven't rage quit. So, David, you ain't got that victory over me, mate. I'll deal with you on Wednesday. I'll see you on
Wednesday, yeah? We'll do that, Kenny. I look forward to it.
Use your place on Wednesday.
There you go. Yeah. Block 2. Block 2 or 3. Which one?
Block 3.
Block 3.
Block 3.
I look forward to it.
Well, I'll see you Wednesday.
Smile on your face.
Ryan, there's a question.
I'll see you later.
There's a question here for you. There's a question here for you, Ryan, mate.
Ryan, why do you cap so much?
Dan, I think, right, serious note. So, you know me, Arteta's built this squad, and you've got to give him credit for that. But a lot of things I will say, like injuries have played part. Where, for example, Eze, right? If they were all fit, will he be playing number 10? Or would Odegaard be playing number 10? Do you know what I mean?
We don't know that, though. We can't speculate on what we don't know. Do you know what I mean?
If let's say we get to a Champions League final, right?
Yeah.
Right, everyone's fit. Do you think Mikel Arteta sticks to
I think it would all depend on a form. I think that would all come down to form. If Eze's scoring hat-tricks and playing well and Odegaard's not, and if vice versa, I think that would come down to form. And then you've got a decision to make. I always remember Pep Guardiola dropping Fernandinho for the Champions League final, the biggest game in sort of galaxy brain, and they ended up losing it to Chelsea.
So
It's a great problem to have. Do you know what I
they're
mean?
great. They're great decisions to have.
It's a great problem to have. I'm telling you that now. Like, we've got the best squad I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like,
Yeah,
you could be
Julian was,
invincible,
and he's
right?
been watching Arsenal since 1976 or whatever he said. And he said this is the best squad ever. Like, even
Like,
better
obviously,
than
you've got the Invincibles.
the
They've
teams
got, like, they were better players, like starting 11, but squad-wise, the best squad I've ever seen Arsenal have.
But that Invincible
Like,
squad weren't bad. You had Kanu and Wiltord on the bloody
I know,
bench.
but still, Dan,
Jesus.
this
you had
squad,
Edu,
mate,
you had Ray Parler. There was some good depth
yeah, but
there.
if
But I
someone
think
comes
I
out,
agree. I think
we've
this
had
one
Saliba
is.
come out, Mascara goes in, don't make a difference. Yesterday,
Capie.
Gabriel's out. Incapi comes in. Done. Like, it's no difference. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's backup keeper, Kepa, 5 mil. Mad. Like, we've literally got two teams that could both finish in the top, I've said it before, in the top 4. I honestly believe it.
What about Wednesday night? How important is Wednesday night to you guys? Like, because obviously we don't, if we lose, it's not the end of the world. We know we're going to go through, right? But how important is it to send a message for the players to know they can beat a massive team like Bayern Munich? Like, how big is that game? Because it's a massive game on paper. It's at the Emirates. It's a Champions League game. They're the two best teams in Europe form wise right now. Harry Kane's on absolute fire. Bayern Munich, I think, have only drawn one game this season. How big is that game for Arsenal? Because Chelsea play Barcelona. I think they're away as well. So, and we play Bayern Munich. So we've both got big games. And then obviously Sunday for me is bigger because there's a lot more jeopardy in that game. But how are you feeling about Wednesday night's game? It feels like
I think it's still a big game for me. Obviously, it's not as important as the Chelsea game. We lose against Bayern. It's not the end of the world, but 10-2, mate. That still hurts, that 10-2, mate. Yeah, I want to teach them a lesson. And with Harry Kane coming back as well, it's going to be feisty, man. And I think we can take advantage because the pressure's going to be off. So we can go out there and play some fluid football. Yeah, I think it's still a big game. It's Bayern Munich in the Champions League. That's always going to be a massive game. Let's be honest.
Staying around the corner. Like, I've seen the team bus.
Yeah. Someone sent me the video of that.
Shoreditch.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna ask everyone a question. So I'll go Dan, Marty, Charlie, then I'll go to Ryan, and that like across the board. Just say, you could just say yes or no, right? If I said to you now, we'll lose, not a bad defeat, but we'll lose 2-1 to Bayern Munich, but we'll beat Chelsea 2-0. Would you take that now, Dan? Just yes or no?
No, I wouldn't take it. I want to beat both of them, Dan, mate. But yeah, if there was an ultimatum, then I'll take the Chelsea win. But yeah, I want to smash both of them, mate. That's what I want.
So you would risk it, Marty? What about you? Would you take that, a loss at Bayern?
I'm with Dan on that. I want to pay back Bayern Munich for the 5-1s. Like they need. Listen, there'd be nothing better than doing that. But if there had to be an ultimatum, and it was like, what's it, blue pill, red pill situation, and it had to, you literally said no. Or you have a loss to Bayern and win to Chelsea.
Yeah, you win one and you lose one.
And a loss to Chelsea. I'll be honest with you. The reason why I would, and I'm going to explain, the reason why I take the win to Chelsea and a loss to Bayern, the reason why is realistically, it doesn't matter if we lose to Bayern, because the chances are we've got to play, who we got to play? We've got like 2 or 3 teams left in the Champions League, which I'm not being funny.
Teams.
We'll probably smash them with our under-19s. Like
us boys will go out there and beat that Kirat.
Yeah, exactly. Us 5 could probably go and beat them. That's where it's at. So no disrespect, but well, I mean, listen, it is what it is. So
being very disrespectful, but no disrespect. Yeah, go on.
Disrespectful. So it's basically something you say for you about to be really disrespectful to someone. So obviously the format of the Champions League, we haven't conceded any goals in it, and we've won all our games. So naturally we're top of the table, and we want to go into the knockout as being a top seed. In this new format, we want to be a top seed so that we face certain teams. We don't have to play the playoffs. And listen, can we do it with one defeat? Yeah, of course we can. It's not like the Cup Winners' Cup. The Cup Winners' Cup, that was a competition where you had to win every single game to win that trophy in Europe. So have you guys reached 1,000 subscribers?
Yeah, big up Hugo. We reached that milestone.
Well done to Dan.
Yeah, so I appreciate the love, everyone. Look, you know what? This has been such a good show.
I've not even said it once. Smash the likes and make sure you subscribe if you're a new viewer. Make sure you're smashing that like button for us. What you saying, Charles? The question I've just asked.
Mate, do you know what? I think this is going to be the final of the Champions League. I think us two will meet again. Like PSG last year, I think we're going to meet them again, but we'll meet them in the final. I think this team now that we're playing ain't the full strength Arsenal team, so I don't know what will happen Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I think come end of the season, they'll face a different Arsenal.
Yeah, hopefully.
And I think it's going to be in the final. So I'd
in Budapest. Hopefully we're there. We're all there in Budapest. That'd be some trip.
I'd take a loss on Wednesday.
If it meant we'd definitely beat Chelsea. Yeah. I'm with you.
But I think we're going to face them in the final.
Big up.
Ryan, mate, you're on mute, bro.
Keep
Thank God for that. You're on mute.
You should have told him, mate.
Just a quick one. Marty, I can't hear anybody but you. Marty, I've not been able to hear anybody but you. I don't know
bro, I knew it.
No,
I knew it, bro. Because all that time, log out and come. Marty, tell him to log out and come back in.
Ryan, log out and come back in.
I knew it because I was thinking, is this guy just ignoring me when I was saying to him, let me let Charlie speak, and he was just prattling on.
Ryan, log out and don't come back in. That's what the message was from the guys. I'm joking. No, log out and come back in, mate. Can you hear me? I think he's frozen. He's frozen on me.
Come on, mate. All that EastEnders money, mate. Sort it out.
I know. Yeah. You need to get your internet sorted, mate.
Where was the Yeah, to come back. Dan, we'll finish off with some of them questions, yeah?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
The Champions League or the Premier League, what would be the bigger achievement for Arsenal Football Club?
Champions League for me, mate.
That'd be a bigger achievement. Marty, what do you think?
Look, mate, you know, I ain't gonna lie, it's a tough question, mate. But the reality of the situation is, if I had to take one immediately, I do want to win the Prem. I really want to win the Prem. It's that 38 game period that you need to be consistent, and there is something, we haven't won it for years, but we've never won the Champions League, and that is, I think if we win the Champions League, that is definitely one thing that no other club you know can really have on us. I mean, the only other things are the treble, and you know, it's really, obviously Chelsea said they've won every European Cup competition. I get that. But yeah, the Champions League one that's always evaded us. So, but I do want to win the Premier League because where we are.
So hard, isn't it? What do you think the players would rather win? Because I remember they asked Saka in an interview last season, and he said the Premier League was the one
that's the bread and butter. Do you know what I mean? You're sugging it out every week. That is your bread and butter. Like I thought
that's not what you want, though, Charles. I'm sure you said you've always wanted Champions League. You choose that.
No, Dan. I always said Premier League is my bread and butter, mate. That's consistency. Champions League is a knockout tournament, right? I'd love to win it. Of course I would. But the way I'm feeling right now, I'm not really worrying because I think we're going to do.
He got cut off when he started talking madness.
He sent him off, mate.
He started talking madness. I think we're going to win both. Look,
I know, but see how you know what he's like. Dan, he's like Dave, yeah, where he'll change. If we lose next week, he'll be like, "Nah, mate."
No, no. I get his voice notes, mate. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. Charles, sort your internet out, mate. Oh, there he's gone. Right, we'll finish off.
Fucked off when you realised he's slagging you off. You're slagging him off.
I want to talk about Bukayo Saka before we finish, because I thought he was. I don't think he got a goal or assist, but he was excellent. I thought
he was cooking out there.
And for me, we need Saka at his best. If we're going to win, a Premier League, a double, a treble, a quad, whatever it might be this season, we're going to need Saka at his best. That level we know he can play at. Is he now, after that performance, getting back to his best? Dan, what you saying?
I think so, and I think what's key for that game against Tottenham as well, Madueke was back fit. So maybe that was playing in the back of his mind as well, because he knows when Madueke was playing, he was playing to a high level. He wasn't getting the, end product, as people were saying, but he was playing very well. So I think with Madueke back in the team, that's only going to push him on to be better as well, because he knows there's someone there that can potentially play in his position. So perfect timing for Saka, man. Perfect timing for a lot of these players again in the North London derby, to Eze, Saka. But yeah, I think this could be it, man. It could be it. And it's going to be good that we have got a Madueke to come on 60, 70 minutes, take him off, bring him back on if we're 2-3-0 up. So yeah, I think we're going to see the best of him, man. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Ryan, what you saying, mate? Saka, is he back to his best? Can you hear us, Ryan? I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Ciao.
I started a phone call, man. I'm doing it on my phone now.
Ryan, can you hear us?
Sorry, guys. I just keep losing you lot. You're in and out. Something's wrong with it. I'm going to log in and back out again, yeah?
Someone me. What I was saying, though, yeah, Champions League, Premier League, I think we're doing both because the squad's so good. Do you know what I mean?
Charles, see, after the 2-2 Sunderland result, bro, you weren't talking like this, my guy. What's happening?
Believe it. Listen, we've had the injury crisis. People say, oh, yeah, we've had it. Like, mate, I'm there. If we don't
if I had this voice note to play right now after that Sunderland game, what you were saying, Charles, if we don't do it this season, it might be done, if it don't happen.
But listen, I think everyone, when you drop points like that, you're always going to be fuming, ain't you? Initially, straight after. That's why fan cams are so good as well, because it's
the squad
straight after
that we've got to be there or thereabouts for both them big trophies. Do you know what I mean? We have to be. And
can we win the quad?
If we don't do it this year, it will never happen. Like, I'm telling you now, if it doesn't happen this year, it won't happen. That's it. It has to happen this year. League.
The league did, for sure, 100%. And the Champions League could
League will come. But I think the way we're going...
Look, I got slaughtered. I got slaughtered for saying that. Like, I would... if someone said, would you take finishing 8th and winning an FA Cup or a League Cup or finishing 2nd again? And I said 2nd again because I believe that this team has got 4 years to win a Champions League or a Premier League.
You'd rather the league, though.
But what I'm saying to you is I would not want to take 1 year out of the Champions League. I would sacrifice that FA Cup or a League Cup or even both of them if it meant us falling out of the Champions League places and we were not going to be in the Champions League. Because I think how many chances do a football club get to win a Champions League? In 10 years' time, we might not have a squad.
So you would rather have no silverware again and have no guarantees of winning the Champions League this season?
Yes, I'd rather have the chance of winning.
I think we can win the Champions League, definitely, like with a squad.
I think what you're going to see with this side, right, and this is going to be the difference. I think you're going to see this side going very far in all of these competitions. Which ones will win? I think you're going to see long cup runs in Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. I think the cup. Do you know what? The Carabao Cup that could happen. That could get sewn up.
That could start it all off. And once that starts...
do you know what? I could see the Carabao Cup happening in the league and us going to a Champions League final and losing that. That would be some sort of...
I hope you're right, Marty, but I look at that Sunderland result. That can happen in one of the cups and then you go out on penalties, innit? I'm not sold up on it. It's looking that way. 100%. Cup competitions are a bit funny, man. They're a bit funny.
No, I think he's right. I think we'll win the Carabao Cup.
That's what I think. I said Carabao Cup and Premier League.
We'll win the league. Don't know about the Champions League. We could win it. But, like, sort of how Man City went. Do you know what I mean? They started.
Look at that season. Liverpool were on for the quad, wouldn't they? But they ended up with the FA Cup and League Cup. God hope that don't happen to us.
Yeah, listen, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'll take an FA Cup and a League Cup.
Right now, you wouldn't take that, though, would you?
I would, mate. Listen,
if you take that,
end up Potter's.
What,
End
you
up
would
holders.
take that right now? If
Martin,
I
would you
said to
take-
you right now,
All
you
right,
take
so
that
wait.
now.
If
This
The
season-
position we're in.
so if you
We're
said to
7
me,
points
if you
clear.
said to me,
If I said the
right,
season
Marty,
ends
no,
tomorrow,
listen, if you said to me now, Marty, right, I'm going to guarantee you're going to get the League Cup and the FA Cup, or you can roll the dice and risk not winning anything at all and see how it plays out. I'll be honest with you, I'll take the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup.
no way.
Wait,
When we're
Marty,
7 points, when we're
Marty,
six
so-
I'll
clear in
take
the
it. I'll
Premier.
just take it. Listen,
If-
because then it's done. I'll take it. Then I'll go again next season.
But then,
And
all
No
right,
way.
so
I
wait,
would
hang on.
never,
Would you
never in a
take
million
so
years.
would you'd be happy? Would Arteta stay if we won two cups and not
Oh yeah,
a major
100%.
trophy?
100%. What, League and Cup
Nah.
double, mate? Honestly, the League
What,
Cup
a
double,
cup double, not the
mate.
league.
Was you there in 92, 93? That was unbelievable. Honestly, listen, winning them both them tournaments, mate. You get to win one in
Wow.
February or March, and have that jubilation. Then go and win the FA Cup in May, mate. Unbelievable. Winning, yeah, I'll take that all day long. That's two trophies in the season, 100%, 100%.
No, but no,
Yeah, why
not
not?
this position in the Premier League, man. We have to win the Premier League.
Listen, like you said, the question was, would I take two trophies? Yeah, of course I would. It's two trophies. It's two trophies. A league, listen, that
Silverware.
92-93 season, you tell Tony Adams, Paul Merson, Andy Lineker, David Seaman, all them, man. If you turn all of them, they'll tell you how great a season that was. And I'll tell you what, at the time, that team, listen, we didn't do that well in the league. I think we finished 8th. But listen, it was amazing times, man. It was amazing. It was like it goes down in the double winning season, and it led on to years afterwards of success. I don't think you guys understand the momentum that would give this team. It would be a taste of success, a taste of silverware, and then we would springboard us on to other things. Definitely. I'm not saying, listen, it's not ideal. I'm not saying, oh yeah, I want to win the League Cup and the FA Cup. It's obviously the Champions League and the Premier League, 100%. That's my point. But also, I don't turn my nose up at those competitions. The FA Cup is one of the most prestigious competitions in all of world football. Like, obviously, apart from the World Cup, I understand that. But the FA Cup is a magical trophy and it's a magical tournament. If all you need to see is you need to look at last season's FA Cup and watch what happened with Crystal Palace and what that meant to their fans and the magic of that final at Wembley. It was absolutely unbelievable. And you tell me, I was watching that as an Arsenal fan, and I had it on my. I had a ticket to the game, and God knows why I didn't take it. And I was sat there with the TV on full whack, soundbar up the lot, full mode up to the max. And do you know what? It gave me goosebumps. And would I take 2 trophies? Of course I would. Why? Because it keeps our trophy hall as well bigger than other clubs. Listen, we've won more trophies than teams like Chelsea and what have you.
Sorry,
But not the position we're in now, man. I just think the league is. I'm so confident we're
wouldn't
going
be
to win
happy
it.
with the 2 cups. No way. No chance.
Okay.
Like the squad we've got on that, it needs to be the league. I'd take a league and a cup, 100%. I'd take the Champions League and a cup maybe, but it needs to be a major trophy, not them 2 cups.
Yeah, I think we haven't built this team over 7 years to win.
Listen, guys, the FA Cup's a major trophy, man. Don't listen. Do you not remember the magic?
It is a major trophy, but Marty,
I think
it's
it's
not
been
what it's
diluted
not.
over years.
Yeah, it has. It's not what it was, is it?
No,
and also,
look, people's minds.
We won the FA Cup
so much as well. That's why it's diluted.
We won the FA Cup in 2020, and we were still getting, it wasn't good enough for a lot of people, was it? Wenger.
That's a lot of
we've just had Kenny Ken and these people on his slating Wenger for his last years. He won 4 FA Cups in his last 6 years.
I know, but listen. How can you say Arsene Wenger? Do you know what I mean? It's like, honestly, come on, man. Like, who am I to say Arsene Wenger? Let's be honest, right? Am I qualified? Am I anywhere near qualified? The levels of football now of Arsene Wenger. Come on, exactly. Man. That's just disrespectful. It's delusional. Like, to sit here and go, oh, he's this and he didn't get this right. There's a lot of things he did get right, man.
Doesn't deserve a statue. That was crazy.
He does deserve a statue. That's disrespect to a legend that's put his stamp on this football club and given us nights like what we're going to go and see on Wednesday night. Do not put. I would put this. That's just my thing. Would I be standing there going, he needs to go, get him out? I think that's hooligan. I think that's just uncouth behaviour to stand there and go, oh, I'm not that guy. Me personally, I'm just not that guy. That's just not how I roll. It's as simple as that. Listen, I trust the club. I trust what they're doing, and I've seen success with this football club over the 40 years that I've supported supported it. Right? Do I need to go and lambast the manager that has given us absolutely everything? He's given us. We've won the FA Cup more than anyone. We've got an invincible.
He's won
trophy.
7 FA Cups and 3
Come on,
Premier
man.
Leagues.
We've won the Premier League under him.
But
He
this
got
is
us
the
to a
difference.
Champions League final.
Big up Malcolm, by the way.
Sorry.
Great result today, Everton.
But this is the
Get in.
difference. This is what I'm
Beat
saying,
United
right?
with 10 men. Fantastic.
So, Marty, this is what I'm saying. With Wenger,
Mhm.
I was never, ever, ever one of them guys over there, Wenger out. Never.
Yeah.
I would never,
Yeah.
ever do that. Well,
Dan was. Go and check Dan's AFTV back in the day. Dan was.
I would never. Was he?
I
Yeah.
bet
Was
Dan
ya?
was proper
Yeah.
out. You need to
Nah.
get him
I had
out.
signs up. I'm sorry, lads. I feel bad about it now. I feel bad about it now. I'll be honest. I feel really bad
yeah,
about it.
You
I
feel
feel
bad,
about
about
it.
See?
You should feel bad about that.
Right, can I just say? Can
My
I
thing
just
is
say
with
on?
Arteta,
Can I just
my
say
thing
sorry
is-
quickly on that note? Can I just say quickly on that note?
Yeah.
And this is my point, right? This
Yeah.
is my exact point on that, right? I know Dan. You're a good guy, Dan. Yeah. And I noticed how that conversation was going on, and you just kept yourself very quiet. And I was thinking in my mind, he was a Wenger out of there. He would have been a signboarder, yeah.
He was.
And then you just come out with it, and you feel a bit bad, right? You do.
I do, man. I do.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done,
you
I'd
do.
never have done that.
You in your head, I know, because I know you're a good guy. I know you're a good guy, and you're probably in your head thinking, do you know what? Maybe it was a bit out of order. Like maybe I should have went a bit
100%.
too far with it.
Right.
Maybe I didn't need to do, and that's my point.
My thing was,
100%.
as much as it was painful and I wanted him to go at the end, I couldn't be one of them boys. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
he
you
gave
can't.
me the best moments of my life. He built us to what we were. Like, he changed
Yeah, you
everything. But my thing is, this is the thing. With Arteta, until he wins a major trophy, not a cup, a Premier League or Champions League, he hasn't got that insurance, let's say. Do you know what I mean? He ain't got that behind him. I can't back it until he wins it.
I do
With
get what
Wenger-
I do get what you're saying, but then listen, Claudio Ranieri for Leicester won him the Premier League. Did that give him any assurances? Because look where they are now.
Yeah, but
Listen,
that's-
football's a funny thing.
Marty, we didn't finish it. I wanted to get you didn't get to say it earlier, but I
Go on.
wanted to get your stance on Slot. You said earlier you think that Liverpool fans are right to call him out and be sacked.
I'll be honest with you. If I was a Liverpool fan right now, in my
100%.
mind, I would be like thinking this guy needs to go. I wouldn't be there going Slot out. Again, that's not my style. But
Yeah.
listen,
What's your reasons for that then?
I think personally he's out of his depth.
Marty,
I'll tell you why, right? Is you see that first season that he came in, right? The first season he came in, he won it with record points. But listen, that was a team that he just had to coax into it. It was already set out. It already had the players. It was Klopp's side. Like when when Mikel Arteta won the FA Cup, the players were there. He just had to manage them and just get the FA Cup over the line, which is what he did. And fantastic. But then when you start to rebuild a team, i.e., you take out key personnel in the changing room, you take out key characters, things happen, and then you replace them with players. Now, players aren't always what they seem. I.e., Isak certainly isn't what he seems, because listen, at Newcastle he's banging in goals for fun, and he certainly isn't banging in goals for fun. Florian Wirtz was a magician in midfield. Well, he's I think I prefer Paul Daniels in midfield at the moment than Florian Wirtz. Do you know what I mean? So and that's kind of listen, the point I'm getting at is he's tried to restructure the side and he hasn't. I think he's lost the dressing room. Obviously, getting rid of Luis Diaz, what a player! I don't know why you'd get rid of him, and for him wanting to
100%.
go into Bayern Munich. I don't get that. Also, listen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool are a huge football club. I don't know how you can't persuade a Liverpool born and bred boy to stay at the club where he's won stuff, to continue winning stuff.
Facts.
That to me says something where someone who loves the club, he sees where it's going. I don't know, but look, it's clear to see that, they're a bit of a mess at the back. You've got players like, Kirkis, who's playing out of position. I think Gravenberch is a top player, but he's being played out of position. He's shown flashes of brilliance this season, but again, being very inconsistent. I just don't see up front. They've got no passion, no drive, no desire to want the ball and to be ruthless with teams. And even at the beginning of the season, they were scraping the wins at the end of the game, which isn't by any means necessary, and I understand that, fair play. But you know, you take that away from them, and now to a point where you've got Nottingham Forest, a team that was in, I think, 17th, 18th or something.
19th.
19th, sorry, 19th. And they absolutely turned them over. They hit them on the counter. They soaked up pressure from Liverpool. Liverpool were impotent. And then they went down the other end and did the business and opened them up for fun. I don't think Slot. And also, do I want to see my manager in Ocean Beach after winning the Premier League in Ibiza? No, I don't. Like, I just don't. I'll be honest with you. Like, I certainly don't want him taking my football team there, because I just think, listen, if you're getting paid that sort of money, mate, you should be in them places. It's as simple. Listen, everyone has their phone, but listen, you knuckle down, and that. I don't know. That to be honest, just says a bit for me about.
Yeah.
His sort of maybe his leadership of the team. I just think it's a huge job Liverpool Football Club. I'm not disrespecting,
but it was. I mean, look, he did. His tactics were different to Klopp's. They hadn't won the league for what, 2 or 3 years. He's still done a great job last season.
I think they're 2 losses away. I think in 2 losses time, the Kop will start singing Jurgen Klopp's name.
Do you know what? I could see him
going. He'll go back.
I could see it. I could see it. I
hope
he'll
go back there.
It could happen. This is strange.
It could happen.
Marino went back to Chelsea, so
it really could happen, man.
You know, listen, don't expect the unexpected. You know, protect yourself at all times.
Especially now they're spending all that money.
Yeah, listen, and I'll be honest. It's one of those. You could just see. You know, when you look at a manager, at times Slot just looks like he's just a bit out of his depth. He looks like he's a bit clueless.
He does. And a lot of
I look at managers
he says in the interviews as well,
when you look at Emery, right? When I looked at Emery, I just looked at him. I was like, "You are out your depth, my man. This club is too big." You know, when you looked at David Moyes at Manchester United, this job's too big for you, mate. You can't handle the job. There's certain jobs in football which ain't for certain. There's certain jobs in life that ain't for certain people. It's as simple as that. And this is just what I'm seeing with I think with Slot at the moment. And in ways, listen, if something doesn't change, Liverpool won't get even European football this next season. If nothing changes, they're in relegation form, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're not far off it. And I don't say that. I rate Liverpool. I really do. They're a huge club in world football. I don't say that with disrespect, like, oh, you know, I'm slandering them. You know, it's mad to think, you know, and they're just losing games.
I went to the game against Liverpool earlier in the season, right? So I went up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you not think we should have gone at them?
Yes. I think that we should have started Eze. If he had started Eze,
right.
I think the game would have been different. But I get it. He'd only been.
I do think big games are different though, because you look, they beat Real Madrid, who are top of the league in La Liga. I think the big games are different. They just are. It's just how they are. Just how they are. And not saying we shouldn't have. I'm saying also Liverpool won every game up until then.
What about City at home when we didn't play a number 10?
Yeah, he knew he got that wrong. He changed it at half time. Yeah, he should have.
Yeah, I mean, but then listen,
he knows he should have. He changed it at half time.
This is what top managers do. They change things at half time. And literally, I've never seen Arteta change things that quickly.
And he's done it with Mascara as well.
At half time, he's rolled out the changes. And listen, those changes changed the game. I've never seen Manchester City play against another side and sit 11 men behind the ball.
No, I haven't either. But I think they would have played. We should have gone at them from the start.
I know.
We should have the belief that we are better than them.
I know, but you need to sometimes in football, you need to try things out. And the thing that I do agree with Mikel Arteta is, listen, that decision's based on people's opinions of Mikel Marino, and obviously when he was in the starting lineup. But listen, Mikel Marino's no one had a problem with him starting against Tottenham, did they? Do you know what I mean? And he's proving to be a pivotal player.
Than he is in midfield, isn't he?
Huh?
He's better up top than he is in midfield.
Well, listen, if you look at him against Tottenham on Sunday, it was actually Eze that was playing a lot more. Eze,
you're right.
Marino was playing more of a 10, or a false 9, and Eze was actually playing in the. Eze numerous times was leading 100%. The front 3 line in the middle, and he was the one that was open in front of God, and that's how we opened them up, because they thought that Marino would drop off, get the ball, and play the ball through, and then obviously there was a lot of side to side. If you looked at it, how they play the ball out to the right hand side, and then obviously it would get popped into the middle, and obviously Tottenham overload on either wings, ball gets played into the middle, and Eze's there at times. In the second half there were times where he was literally completely wide open, And he had the goal gaping in front of him. I mean, the one that what's his name? Keeper saved. What's his name?
Vicario.
Vicario. That's it. Sorry, mental block. Vicario saved with one hand. I mean, it was. If Eze sticks that further in the corner,
that's for the fourth, wouldn't it? That would have been the fourth goal.
He could have had another. He could have had another. You know, that should have. I mean, don't forget in the 3rd minute, Declan Rice as well. You know, Vicario. It's a point blank to Vicario. All Declan Rice needs to do is put it anywhere other than where he put it, and that's we're 1-0 up after 3 minutes, and that's the difference that I see. We went at them. We looked to. You know, we weren't stopping. Like at the end, and at the end, we were up for taking the piss as well.
And this is what I think. Like I hope he's changed now, and he knows like this is us. Because at the start of the season, I feel like it was a bit pragmatic, the approach against the big teams. You know what I mean? Whereas I don't think we're good enough. Our squad's good enough to not worry about them.
I think form. I think momentum and form comes into that as well, though. You know, and the players how they're feeling and stuff like that as well. I do think that comes into it. If you're playing,
it was second game of the season. We went United, didn't we? Beat them. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the start of the season, it is hard to get going though. No team starts blowing teams away at the start of the season.
Yeah, but Liverpool were shaky at the start with the defence. So we should.
Yeah, I know they did.
So did City.
Yeah. Listen. In hindsight, now, that is the right thing.
If it comes,
how poor they've been.
I think we're going to win the league, right? But if we don't, and we sit here at the end of the season, we will be having this conversation and go, why the fuck didn't he start that team against City?
I'll be up at the Emirates, mate, with my board out. Arteta out.
If I've done that for Wenger, Arteta's in trouble. I'll be honest with you.
Dan will be there with Kenny Ken.
Wenger out board.
Boys,
blaming it all on Wenger.
We're going to wrap up because I'm.
Stop reminding me of that, Marty. Don't ever repeat that, man. Seriously.
Dan, between me and you, I won't tell no one.
I didn't know you'd done that, mate. I might have to take you off my phone.
I was in a dark place.
I'm gonna find a video. I'll find a video. And listen,
so basically, Dan, you was in a right dark place and you've taken all your anger and your emotional uncertainty out.
I needed a release, Marty. I needed a release, mate. I'm telling you.
Basically, is that what you're saying that everyone is now doing, where they're all like, "Oh, take her out. He's got to go. I've had enough." Is that what it is?
I've said that. I've said that. 100%.
If you're saying Arteta out right now, then it's just crazy talk, innit? So I'm saying if we get to the end of the season, we ain't won nothing, I'm gonna be there. Do you understand?
Mate, Dan Rash had a show today, and do you know what the title was?
I'll tell her out.
No, it was why don't we play like this? Why don't we play this system every week? It's just like, mate.
You can't play that. See, we played against Tottenham, innit? So yeah, it was all different, mate.
That was naughty. Like that, it was just easy, wasn't it? Yeah, it was so easy.
We smoked them, they got rolled over.
It's so easy. Do you know what?
Oh, did you not see what their defenders were doing before the game? The little line, the drills that they were doing.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I've never seen a team do that before.
I was trying to find. What was it? Someone said to me, I was trying to find a Spurs fan. I was trying to search for one all day. I didn't get it.
4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. I was trying to search 4-1.
Oh yeah.
Lads, let's do predictions.
I got there in the end.
Yeah, predictions. We're gonna go both games, and then we'll wrap up there because I've taken up a lot of your time. We've been on nearly 2 hours now, and I appreciate all of your time. Dan,
mate, we're getting these watch hours up for you, aren't we?
Yeah, no, you are. Honestly,
mate,
you are.
Get some serious watch hours up for you. And we monetize before you know it. You'll be driving around that Rolls Royce a lot. Just remember me when you're rich and famous, yeah?
I think you'll be there before us, Marty, mate.
Doubt it, mate.
I think you're halfway there already, mate, to be honest.
I get paid. I don't know about that. I wish.
Predictions, Dan, what you saying? Scoreline?
3-0, Bayern Munich. 3-0.
3-0.
To Bayern Munich, yeah?
No, to Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Okay,
we are slapping them.
And Arsenal, Chelsea?
Arsenal, Chelsea. See, after that Tottenham game, I'm feeling very, very positive right now, man. Seriously.
Positive, Dan. Number 2.
I'm feeling very positive after that, but we can't get carried away. Can't get carried away with that Tottenham team that turned up. It's going to be a lot harder against Chelsea. We drew twice with them last season, and I think they were worse last season as well, if you're asking me. I think we get over the line, though, man. I'm going for a 1-0, man. 1-0.
Joe?
I think, right, honestly, and I'm thinking about last season, right, and I hope it plays out this way. I think we're going to get done 2-1 by Munich, right? Yeah? And I think we're going to play them again later on in the year, similar to PSG, where we beat them in the group stage, they beat us later on, and I think we'll beat them later on in the year. So I think we'll get done 2-1 by Munich, right? But I think we beat Chelsea 2-1.
Marty?
I don't want that to happen, but that's what I feel.
I reckon we beat Bayern 6-0 and we beat Chelsea 8-0.
I think we're going to slap Chelsea, though.
No, actually, sorry. No. I'm only joking. I think Chelsea will be 9-0.
Yeah.
I think Bayern do us 2-1, but honestly, I think we beat Chelsea.
I could see the Bayern game being 1-1 or 2-2. If I'm honest with you, I hate to say it, I just could. I'd like to say 2-0. I'd like to say we beat them 2-0. They're a good side. They've got some good players. Obviously, you've got Kane who likes to score against them. They've got Elise, who's a top player.
I think they'll score against them.
Luis Diaz, he's a top player. You know,
he's
they've got
players
players.
every time he plays.
He's not playing. He's suspended. Diaz.
Oh, is he? They've got top players that can hurt you, and you know they're set out well. It's the Vincent Company side. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to be tough. They're going to be hard to break down, and they're going to come at us. But it's going to be a live night in the Emirates. I'm looking forward to it. So listen, we can beat anyone on our day, but my head says 1-1, and my heart says 2-0. Chelsea, look, I think 3-0.
Clean sheet against Bayern.
What's that?
Clean sheet against Bayern, mate.
We could do, yeah, man.
They've scored about 60 goals this season, you know. I'm not exaggerating.
In the Bundesliga, mate. Seriously, man.
And in the Champions League,
listen,
mate.
And who knows the Bundesliga very well? Who knows the Bundesliga very well?
Marty.
No, not me.
Oh.
Piero Hincapié.
Yeah, true.
So listen, he's done it. Don't forget, he's done it in Germany. If anyone knows Bayern Munich, he knows them. So I like him playing there in that game. Listen, it can happen. But I said 1-1, but I'd like to. My head says 1-1, but heart says 2-0, and then the Chelsea game 3-0. I do think we're going to go to Stamford Bridge and give it to them. And I can't wait. Do you know what? Honestly, if we go to Stamford Bridge and give it to them and beat them 2-3-0, they are getting it, mate. They are
getting it.
Do you know what as well? And I'm going to be honest with you, right? Honest with you. Part of it is as well is like the other fans. They hate when like the Tottenham fans and all the other fans. When after that game yesterday, we're going and we're going. They're a championship side. They're useless, mate. That absolutely, mate. Listen, we've been there. We've had to take that.
Yeah, hey, Mark, your fan cam was unreal yesterday, Marty. Championship team, mate. You know they were burning after seeing that,
mate. Do you know what? That's what I mean. That's what the fan cam is. It's your way of communicating with other fans and giving it to them. Because, mate, because don't forget, I've been on the back of them games. Like the Chelsea games when we got beaten like 6-0 at their place and stuff. So
we got them back for that 5-0, didn't we?
Come on, man. Come on, it's got to be done.
I'm going for like you, Marty. My head does say probably a 1-1 draw. Bayern Munich have been fantastic this year. Harry Kane loves a goal against us. We're going for a draw, you know. But we could
negative, Dan. What's happened to you, mate?
We could go and win it 2-1. But I'm going for us to, like you said, I think we're going to win 2 or 3-0 against Chelsea. I really do. I think we're just so much stronger than them. I think we'll go there and I think we'll bully them and put them to the sword.
Mate, it'll be boys against men.
Boys against men, exactly that, like it was against Spurs. But listen, it's been one of probably the best shows, I think. Dan, what would you say? I think this has got to be one of the, maybe not, if not.
Marty was going at it with Ken, Julian was in there. You know what I mean?
We've got some good clips there. Like, I don't know if people want to watch debates about Wenger anymore. But listen, it's going to get clipped up and it's going to get put out there. But look, thanks a lot
That's right. It's a
coming
pleasure
on.
to be on here, guys. Well done. Well done on your 1K subs. It's
appreciate it.
Listen, I knew you'd get there. Listen, before you guys know, you'll be up at 5K. You're doing well. Keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. You're lovely guys, and you deserve it.
Thanks, Marty, man. Appreciate that.
Everyone, go and subscribe to us if you haven't. Help us get to the next landmark, which is 2,000 subscribers. Road to 2K starts now. Big games coming up. And we'll have when's our next live, Dan? It won't be Wednesday.
Ain't it? Take the L, ain't it?
Thursday, yeah. Thursday, Take the L, which is with rival fans, and it's a new show. So make sure you tune in and get your notifications turned on so you know when we're coming on.
Yeah, it'll be good to see the Man United boys on Thursday, innit, Dan?
Yeah, it will. Yeah, after that game. I saw him today, actually, and he said they were guaranteed they're going to win. He's gone to see Mo Gillingham. He went, I'm going to miss the game, but I know we're going to win 3-0. He's probably got home. Yeah, one of our another content creator that comes on our show on Wednesdays. We do it with two Man United brothers. They're funny, but yeah. I mean, Man United, where are they now? 11th in the table. We haven't even touched on that, but they've lost. Did they have 10 men today? Does anyone know?
For most of the game, Everton had 10
Everton had 10 men and beat United at Old Trafford with 10 men. Mate, that is a
I'll tell you, do you know what I feel sorry for? Do you know what I feel sorry for?
Who?
That geezer that ain't going to cut his barnet unless they
win. Yeah. Oh, mate, he's
banging trouble. I'll tell you what, he could be waiting until 2032. Do you know what I mean? That thing will be on the fucking deck, mate.
In it.
The poor guy, do you know what I mean?
He's fucked, isn't he?
Do you know what?
He's going to have it forever.
Mate, honestly, a 5 on the bounce as well. Listen, like Arsenal haven't. I don't think they've won 5 on the bounce. What they have. I mean, listen, 5 on the bounce is.
It's hard.
Five, not draw one, but to win 5 on the bounce. Mate, that's good.
United, they are so funny though, isn't it?
He could be going a couple of seasons, that geezer.
He will be,
mate. That hair could be some serious flowing locks.
He could be going years, mate.
He'll get some good traction though, innit? It's good promo for him if they keep not doing it and his hair keeps growing. It's good promo for him, man. I'm telling you.
No, listen, the geezer's done. He won an award at the Content Creator Awards. Fair play to him. I think he's done. He's got shampoo deals and everything. He's doing that. I see him earlier on Instagram, and he was like,
"No way."
Oh yeah, he was like, people have been asking me to do the wet look, so I'm using this Timbertail, whatever it was. He was doing all this and giving it all that, and he's doing all different hairstyles. I'm like, is this a football show or an air show, or what is it? But no, fair play to fair play to him. Like, mate, absolutely amazing to come up with that idea, to keep consistent, and that's it. It's consistency with content. He's come up with a gimmick, and he seems like a lovely guy. Good luck to him. And you know, he's making a career out of it. I love seeing that. Do you know what I mean? And it's all just down to consistency.
Here's a question: what year will he cut his hair?
I do honestly believe it's going to be next season. I do.
Right, I don't believe it's next season.
Is it league games or just 5 games? Yeah, so they can win.
I'm going 2029.
Man U have got to win 5 games on a bounce.
Yeah, I'm going 2029.
And do you know for that to have that sort of side, you've got to have a title challenging side. Like, you've got to have a Man City or an Arsenal. Like at the moment. At the moment, there's only 3 teams in the Prem that can do that, and that's Arsenal, Man City, and Chelsea that could potentially go on a 5-game winning run.
Liverpool could as well.
Liverpool in the Prem as well. Oh yeah, but they're not in any other cups, are they?
No, they went out to Grimsby. This bit's got to get clipped up as Man United. Man United trolls.
I'm telling you that 2029. I'm putting that year.
Do you reckon? I'll go next season. I reckon back in the next season, Ruben Amorim would have got it together. Sethgo's firing, Kuna's firing, and Bueno, and they probably go.
Never going to fire.
They'll get close. They're going to get close.
Got 1 goal.
They'll get close this and early next season. I think they might do it, and they'll be like 3. Like they've done it. I think they've done 3 games, and then he was like, "I might be getting my hair cut soon." And then I'm
going 2030. I'm going 2035. That's what I reckon.
Dan, I think you're right. I actually think you're right.
Honestly, I do. I can't see it happening at all, man. Top teams do that, and they are way off the top.
That's what I mean. They are off the pace.
Very hard to win 5 in a row.
They have a couple of good games, and then they lose. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they've just lost
to lose at home to Everton with
Home
10
to
men.
Everton, 1-0,
10
and
men.
Everton had 10 men for about 80 minutes of the game.
That is disgraceful stuff.
Crazy.
Absolutely disgraceful
And
stuff.
the thing is, I think Kuna's injured, Sesko's injured as well, and it's like I'll be honest with you, I think Kuna, Sesko, and Bueno are a really good front three, but that's what they've got literally. Mason Mount can come in and do a few bits, but they haven't got any like reinforcements other than that. They haven't even got a good first 11. They have just about, but they've definitely not got any depth whatsoever. Yeah,
That goal, that Dewsbury goal was a banger as well. Top Binzel, mate.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, watch it back, man. Top goal.
Yeah, I watched it a bit.
But yeah, man. Big up to
Man,
everyone.
it's been a good show. It's been a good show.
Thanks everyone who has watched. Thanks everyone who has commented. It means the world to us. And thank you for
each and every time.
Big up Kenny Ken. Go and check him out on Instagram. Ryan Calaco, big him up for coming on. Charlie, Marty Ovens is on his tag on Instagram. I'm sure you're probably following him already, but if you ain't gone following him now. And yeah, man, we'll be back. What's Ryan saying here? 1 sec. I'm back, but you look going. Sorry. Yeah. We're going now, Ryan. But listen, Ryan, come next Monday, and hopefully, usually we do it when there's not a game on. So I know that's why the views weren't as high, but they did get higher once Marty and Ken started going at it. Which,
did they?
Yeah. It went up like an extra 10 people come in as soon as that was going off. So that was
how
good,
does
man.
that work out? What? So
I don't know. Like maybe people probably just
someone's having a row or whatever.
I don't know. People must have sent it to like their mates or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah. But that was good, man. But yeah, everyone, make sure you're liking, subscribing. If you're watching it on the replay, drop us some comments. And thanks a lot for everyone who's watched. Big up, and we'll see you on Wednesday for Take the L. Thanks. Not Wednesday, sorry. Thursday for Take the L. We'll be on AFTV. Fan cam. It's going to be a special one, I reckon, against Bayern Munich. Big up. Thanks for watching. See you later, people.
Okay.
Bless.
It is worse.
See you later.